They always pick their phone over you. Have you ever been talking to someone and their eyes are just somewhere else, glued to a screen, even when you're right there? It's a quiet kind of hurt. When someone you care about constantly chooses their phone over looking at you, over listening, it can feel like you're invisible. It feels like what's on that screen is more important than your presence, your feelings, or the moment you're sharing. Think about how people used to connect. A long time ago, there were no phones. When two people met, their full attention was the only gift they could give. Ancient thinkers, like those in old Greece, talked about presence, about being truly, completely there. They believed real connection, deep understanding, came from sharing focus, from really seeing and hearing each other. People had to be present with each other, and that's why it matters. Here's the thing. Imagine you're telling your friend about something super exciting that happened. You're trying to share this joy, but their head is down. Their thumbs are busy. Maybe they just grunt and unhung. It's like trying to share a secret with a closed door. Even if they say they're listening, it doesn't feel like it. This leaves you feeling small, maybe even a little bit alone. It's like a friendship struggling to grow in the shade, starved of sunlight. It's not that phones are bad, but here's the problem. When that phone constantly gets picked over you, it sends a quiet message. It whispers that you're not the main event. Everyone deserves to feel seen, heard, and like they are the most important person in the room when with someone they care about. A deep connection needs that warm light of undivided attention. It needs a space where eyes meet, smiles are returned, and moments are truly shared, making both people feel truly valued. You feel like you're walking on eggshells. Have you ever felt like you had to be super careful, like one wrong move could ruin everything? That feeling, where every step is measured, every word is weighed. That's what it means to be walking on eggshells in a relationship. It's like you're always holding your breath. You worry about what you say, how you say it, even how you look. You're scared of upsetting the other person, scared of a fight, or scared they might just pull away. The idea of walking on eggshells makes you picture something incredibly fragile. Imagine trying to walk across a floor covered in thin, hollow shells. You'd move slowly, carefully, always watching your step. It's a feeling people have known for a long time, this need to be constantly vigilant, trying to keep the peace, often at the cost of your own true feelings. You become a master of prediction, always guessing what might make them upset next. Think about trying to carry a tray full of really wobbly glasses across a crowded room. You can't talk loudly, you can't move too fast. Every muscle in your body is tense, focused on not letting anything break. You're not being yourself. You're just trying to get through the moment without a mess. That's a little like how your mind feels when you're always afraid of causing a crack. But here's the thing, living like that, always tense, always watching, it takes so much energy. It's like living with a knot in your stomach all the time. Your spirit can't relax. True connection, a healthy one, should feel safe. It should let you be you, without fear of breaking something precious just by being real. When you're always walking on eggshells, it's a sign that the ground beneath you isn't solid, and that kind of constant fear can really wear your heart down. Your friends don't like them. Have you ever wondered why your friends' feelings about your relationships matter so much? It's odd, right? You really liked someone, but your closest friends just don't click with them. Maybe they don't say it, but you can feel their quiet worry. Less laughter when that person is near. This isn't them being mean. Sometimes, their discomfort is a soft, important whisper you need to hear. For ages, communities kept people safe. In old times, if someone new joined, everyone watched. Did this person fit? Were they kind? Our friends are like our personal guard. They see things we might miss. When we like someone, our hearts can wear blinders. We only see the good parts. But our friends, who know us best, see the whole picture. They look out for us. Imagine trying a new food. You're excited, but your best friend, knowing your tastes, gives a look. Are you sure? That looks a bit off, they might say. They're not spoiling your meal. They're saving you from something bad. It's like that with a relationship. Friends might notice small disrespect or a lack of true care that you, in new feelings, might miss. They're a mirror, showing truths you can't see. It's tough to hear, but their dislike often comes from deep love for you. They want you truly happy with someone who makes you feel good. So, if friends don't like someone you're with, it doesn't always mean breaking up, but it is a reason to pause, to look closer, ask yourself, what are they seeing that I am not? Their concern is a gift, a silent signal to reflect on what we truly deserve. They never ask about your day. Do you ever wonder why it feels so important when someone asks about your day? It's more than just simple talk, isn't it? It's like an open door, an invitation into your world. It softly says, I care about what happened to you today. When that question stops coming, it can feel like a part of you gets left out. Your triumphs, your struggles, the little funny moments, they just float by, unshared. And over time, that silence can grow very large. Long ago, wise people knew that sharing our stories is a huge part of being human. They talked about how important it was to truly share thoughts and feelings, not just live in the same space. Think about old communities. Everyone knew what everyone else was doing. That deep knowing made their connections strong. Even now, with all our phones and social media, we still need that simple, how was your day? It connects us to the ongoing story of another person. Don't think about your favorite plant. It needs sunlight and water to grow, right? Your inner world, your daily experiences, are a bit like that plant. They need a kind of emotional sunlight and water from the people you care about. When someone asks about your day, it's like they're offering that nourishment. They show that they see your growth, your struggles, and the changes happening within you. If they never offer that, your inner life can start to feel unseen, even a little bit wilted. It's hard for things to grow in the dark. This makes you think about what a relationship truly needs to stay alive. It's not just the big, exciting moments, but all the small ones woven together like a strong thread. Those little questions are like gentle anchors. They keep us tied to each other's worlds, making sure we don't drift too far apart. Without them, the spaces between us can grow too wide, too silent, until we're just two separate boats, slowly drifting alone on a very big ocean. You hide things from them. What happens when we keep parts of ourselves hidden from the people we care about? It's not just about big secrets, like something huge you did wrong. Sometimes, it's the smaller things. Maybe you don't tell them how you really feel about a movie, or you pretend you're okay when you're actually upset. You might even hold back parts of your past, or dreams you have, because you're scared of what they'll think. When you hide things, you build a wall. Slowly, brick by brick, you put distance between you and the other person. They can only connect with the part of you that you show. But relationships need all of you to truly grow strong. Throughout history, wise people have often talked about the power of truth. They knew that real bonds form when people are honest with each other. It's like trying to build a strong house on a shaky foundation. If the truth isn't there, the whole structure can feel unsafe. Think about a small plant. For it to grow tall and healthy, it needs sunlight. The sun helps it make food and become strong. But what if you kept parts of that plant in the dark, tucked away under a heavy cloth? Those parts would struggle. They wouldn't get what they need to thrive. In the same way, a relationship needs the light of honesty. It needs both people to show up fully, with all their feelings and their real selves, for it to truly blossom. When we hide, we're essentially putting parts of our shared garden in the dark. It can feel safe to keep things tucked away, but carrying those hidden pieces can become heavy. It can make you feel alone, even when you're right next to someone. True connection comes from being brave enough to show all of yourself, the good parts and the parts you're still working on. And when you do that, you open the door for real understanding and a kind of deep peace that only honesty can bring. They make fun of you in front of others. Have you ever been in a room, feeling good, and then someone you care about says something that makes everyone laugh at your expense? It's not a gentle tease, it's a jab. You feel suddenly small, exposed, and a little bit betrayed. That unexpected coldness is a sign worth noticing. When a partner makes fun of you in front of others, it's different from playful banter. Playful teasing is usually mutual and comes from affection. But if it's mean-spirited, highlighting your flaws or insecurities for a cheap laugh, it's not okay. It's like they're telling the world, and you, that you're not quite good enough. That message can sting deeply. Think about old wisdom. Treat others as you wish to be treated. Thinkers for thousands of years have talked about respect between close people. It's a basic building block. When someone you're with disrespects you publicly, even with humor, they chip away at that block. It makes you wonder if they truly see your worth. Imagine you're building a tower with blocks. You've worked hard, piece by piece. Now imagine someone knocks out a block and laughs when it wobbles. You might smile along, but inside, you feel that sudden instability. It's the same in a relationship. Your partner should be helping you build, not finding joy in making your tower unsteady. They should be your biggest supporter, not someone who makes you doubt yourself in public. So, when these moments happen, pause and feel what's truly happening. A loving relationship should make you feel safe, valued, and understood, not anxious about being the next target. Your partner should be a shield, not the one throwing the darts. It's about feeling respected, even in the smallest moments. If that respect isn't there, it leaves a quiet ache in your heart, a sign that something precious is missing. You spend more time crying than laughing. Think about this for a moment. When you're with someone you care about, what feelings usually pop up? Most of us hope for joy, right? We want to feel light, happy, like we can truly be ourselves. But sometimes, a relationship can feel heavy. It might feel like a cloud follows you, and a big sign something isn't quite right is if you notice you're spending more time feeling sad or upset than you are genuinely laughing and having fun. Long ago, smart thinkers like the ancient Greeks talked about finding eudaimonia. This sounds fancy, but it just means living a good life, a state of well-being. They believed our connections with others should add to this goodness, not take away from it. It's not about being happy every second. Life has ups and downs, but the overall feeling should lean towards peace and happiness, not constant distress. Imagine your friendships like a garden. You plant seeds of kindness, trust, and shared good times. You water them with support. A healthy garden grows beautiful flowers. But if you spend all your time in that garden pulling weeds, getting pricked by thorns, or finding plants just aren't thriving, it tells you something. It tells you the soil might be bad. In the same way, if your relationship garden is mostly tears and frustration, it's a strong hint that it's not a healthy place for your heart to grow. It's okay to feel sad sometimes, especially when things are tough, but a healthy connection should lift you up more often than it brings you down. It should be a source of comfort and joy, a place where your laughter feels real and your smiles reach your eyes. If your heart mostly feels heavy, if tears seem more common than genuine giggles, it's a quiet whisper from your own spirit. It's a sign that you deserve a connection that helps you bloom, not one that leaves you feeling wilted. They don't stand up for you. Have you ever been in a tough spot? Maybe someone said something unfair about you, or you felt picked on. What happens when the person you trust, the one you think is on your team, just stays quiet, or worse, even laughs along? A relationship where someone doesn't stand up for you can make you feel completely alone. This isn't just about big dramatic moments. Sometimes it's small things. It's when a friend lets others talk bad about you, and they don't say, "Hey, that's not right." It's when you're treated unfairly, and they don't speak up. This means they aren't protecting your feelings or your reputation. They aren't showing they value you enough to be brave for you. For a long time, people have understood how important it is to have someone in your corner. Think about old stories of loyalty and friendships. The idea of loyalty means being there for each other, especially when one person is vulnerable. It's like a silent promise that says, "I've got your back." When that promise is broken, it hurts deeply. Imagine you're playing a game, and someone on the other team is cheating or being mean. Your teammate, who should be with you, just watches and doesn't say a word. That silence feels louder than any insult. It makes you feel exposed, like you're not really part of the team. When someone you care about doesn't defend you, it's like they're letting you face the unfairness all by yourself. This quiet neglect slowly breaks your trust. It makes you wonder if you truly matter. You start to feel less important, less seen. A healthy connection means feeling safe and knowing that someone cares enough to be your shield, even with just words. If they consistently choose silence over your well-being, it's a sign deep care might not be as strong as you hoped. You deserve someone who will always be on your side. You feel alone even when you're together. Have you ever been with someone, a friend, a family member, or maybe someone you're dating and felt totally, completely alone? It's a strange and quiet feeling, isn't it? Your bodies might be in the same room, maybe even on the same couch, but your minds feel miles apart. It's like you're speaking different languages or watching different movies, even though you're looking at the same screen. You're there, but you don't feel seen. You're talking, but you don't feel heard. This feeling isn't new. For a very long time, people have thought about what makes us truly connect. Ancient thinkers knew that just sharing space wasn't enough. They talked about how important it is to share your thoughts, your worries, and your dreams with someone who truly understands. They believed real connection wasn't just about being present. It was about being present with your heart and mind. Here's the thing. It can be like two people sitting side by side at a concert. One person is completely lost in the music, feeling every beat, singing along. The other person is scrolling on their phone, barely noticing the band. They are together, yes, but their experiences are completely separate. One is fully engaged in the moment, while the other is somewhere else entirely. In a relationship, when one or both of you are somewhere else, a quiet distance grows, even if you're physically close. Feeling alone when you're together is a soft whisper that something important is missing. It's not about blame, it's about noticing. It shows that the emotional bridge between you might be incomplete, or maybe it's just not being walked on right now. True connection means feeling like you belong, like your presence matters, and that your inner world is recognized by the person next to you. And that's why it matters, because everyone deserves to feel truly connected, not just accompanied. All your talks turn into arguments. Have you ever noticed how some conversations, even about simple things, just seem to go wrong? It's not just a big disagreement now and then. Here's the thing, it's when every chat, no matter how small, feels like it's heading for a fight. You talk about what to eat, and suddenly you're debating bigger problems. You mention a movie, and it becomes a clash, not just a friendly chat. Words themselves become sharp edges, not soft bridges. Think about how people have always tried to understand each other. For thousands of years, thinkers wondered how to truly connect. They believed honest talks, where people truly listened, were key, not to win, but to learn. But when every effort to share thoughts turns into a battle, that connection starts to fray. It stops being about building something together, and becomes about defending your own corner. Imagine trying to build a tower with blocks. Each block is a word, a feeling, a thought you share. If every time you try to place a block, someone knocks it down, or argues where it should go, the tower never gets built. It's just a pile of scattered blocks. That's what happens when talks become arguments. Instead of creating understanding, you just create frustration. It's exhausting, right? It makes you want to stop talking, and that's the quiet sadness of it. When every conversation ends in a disagreement, it slowly breaks down the safety of speaking your mind. It makes you feel alone, even next to someone. True connection needs a quiet space, where words can land softly and be heard, not always challenged. It needs the belief that the other person wants to understand, not just to prove a point. When that belief fades, the silence can feel louder than any argument. They always blame you. Have you ever felt a heavy weight settle on your shoulders, like every problem somehow points back to you? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? Like you're always walking on eggshells, trying to avoid being the one at fault. Here's the thing, in some relationships, this feeling becomes a constant hum. When something goes wrong, the blame always lands on you. Maybe a plan fails, or someone forgets something. Instead of looking at what happened, or everyone's part, all eyes turn to you. It's not about finding a solution. It's about finding a target for the fault. Think about it. Humans have always tried to understand why things happen. In old stories, people looked for heroes to praise and villains to blame. But real life is much messier. Great thinkers, even long ago, talked about how important it is to look at your own actions. They knew that true strength comes from owning up to your part, not just pointing fingers. When someone always blames you, they're not really looking at themselves or the whole picture. Imagine you and a friend are working on a school project. If the project gets a lower grade, and your friend immediately says, "It's because you didn't do your part," even if they missed meetings or didn't check their work, that's what we're talking about. It's like they've got a special flashlight that only shines on your mistakes, never their own. Your relationship is a team, but one person treats you like the only player who can ever make a mistake. Carrying someone else's blame can feel incredibly lonely and unfair. Over time, it can make you question yourself, your value, and even your own memory of events. A healthy connection, a truly strong one, shares the load. It understands that mistakes happen, and that working through them together is what matters, not just finding someone to fault. This can help you see if a relationship is truly about growing together, or just about avoiding responsibility. You dread hanging out with them. Do you ever get that heavy sigh, that sinking feeling in your stomach, when plans are made with someone you're supposed to care about? It's a strange kind of sadness, right? You might find yourself making excuses, or wishing the clock would just speed up when you're together. This isn't just a bad mood, it's a quiet sign. Instead of looking forward to seeing them, it feels like a chore, something to get through rather than enjoy. That feeling of dread, like a weight in your chest, tells you something important. Here's the thing, human connection is meant to bring us joy and energy. Long, long ago, Even ancient thinkers like Aristotle talked about how true friends should make your spirit feel light. They believed that good company nourishes your soul, making you feel more yourself, more alive. If being with someone consistently drains you instead, that's a pretty big signal from your own feelings. It's about how you feel when they're around, and how you feel when they leave. Think about it like this: your social battery. When you're with people who truly get you, who make you laugh, your battery charges up. You feel energized, ready for more adventures. But when you dread hanging out with someone, it's like they're plugging into your battery and draining it, leaving you empty and tired afterwards. You might even feel a deep sense of relief when they leave, or when the plans are finally over. That relief isn't just about being alone. It's a sign that the interaction itself was taking more from you than it gave. That it takes courage to notice this feeling. It's not about being mean or not caring. It's about listening to that quiet whisper inside you. Sometimes, that dread is your heart's way of saying, "This isn't making me happy anymore." It reminds us that our peace and joy are precious, and the people we choose to spend time with should add to them, not quietly take away. They check your texts or social media. Have you ever thought about the small, quiet space that is just for you? Your thoughts, your private conversations, the things you share only with certain friends. It's like a secret garden in your mind, a place where you get to decide who enters. So, here's the thing. When someone checks your texts or looks through your social media without your permission, it's like they're walking into that private garden, uninvited. They are peeking into your world, not because you opened the gate, but because they found a way around it. This act of one person feeling they need to check up on another speaks volumes about trust. For centuries, people have understood the importance of a personal space. Whether it was a diary locked with a key or a letter sealed with wax, the idea was simple. Some things are private. They belong only to the person who created them, or to those they choose to share them with. It's a basic part of being an individual, having your own thoughts and feelings that aren't open for everyone else to examine. It's how we learn to be ourselves. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a special journal where you write down your secret hopes, your worries, or just silly ideas. If someone you care about suddenly picked it up and started reading it, word by word, without asking, how would that feel? You might feel exposed, even a little bit betrayed. It's not just about what they read, but that they didn't respect your personal boundary. That feeling is important, and that's why it matters so much in relationships. A relationship is supposed to be built on a foundation of trust, a feeling of safety and respect for each other's whole self. When someone feels they have to snoop, it shows that trust is cracked, perhaps badly. It suggests a belief that you might be hiding something, or that your private thoughts somehow belong to them too. True connection grows best when everyone feels free and respected, knowing their inner garden is safe, unless they choose to invite someone in. This sign, then, is a quiet but powerful whisper that something deeply important is missing. You stop doing things you love for them. Have you ever noticed how, when you really like someone, your whole world starts to shift? Think about what truly makes you, you. Maybe it's drawing comic panels, or mastering a skateboard trick. These things light you up. They fill your own cup. But sometimes, you start to quietly put them aside. It's easy. You want to spend time together, so you skip your art club. They don't get your passion for old movies, so you stop watching them on Saturdays. These choices feel small at first, like tiny gifts to the relationship. You tell yourself it's okay, you're making space. But here's the thing, each time you let go of something you love, a piece of your unique self goes with it. Long ago, thinkers like the Greek philosophers talked about knowing thyself. They believed understanding what truly makes you happy was important. It wasn't just about preferences, it was about your core self. They knew that to be a complete person, you needed to hold on to your own spirit. Your passions aren't just hobbies, they are your individual spark. Imagine your life as a colorful mural. Each color is a hobby, a friend, an interest. Your relationship is a beautiful frame around it. But if you paint over your own colors, just to match your partner's favorites, or to make their part of the frame stand out more, your mural becomes dull. It loses what makes it special. You lose what makes you special. When you lose touch with what makes you feel alive, you can feel less bright, less you. Keeping your own interests isn't selfish. It's how you stay whole. It's how you bring more energy, more joy, and more of your amazing self to the relationship. A true connection lets both people shine, each in their own brilliant way. It doesn't dim one light to make another brighter. They make you feel bad about yourself. Have you ever noticed how some people, without even shouting, can make you feel smaller? It's a quiet kind of hurt, but it can be deep. This isn't about healthy disagreements, or when a friend genuinely helps you see something you need to change. This is different. This is about when someone you're close to constantly, maybe even subtly, dims your own light. It's when they make jokes that aren't funny to you, but everyone else laughs, and you feel foolish for not getting it. Or maybe they always point out your flaws, not to help, but to make you feel less confident. They might brush off your achievements like they're nothing, or make you doubt your own good ideas. They might sigh heavily when you share your feelings, making you feel like a burden. And the thing is, these little moments add up. Think about how a tiny drip of water, over many years, can wear down a huge, strong rock. It doesn't happen with one big splash. It's the constant, quiet drip, day after day, that slowly changes everything. That's what it feels like when someone makes you feel bad about yourself. It erodes your confidence, little by little. Even long ago, thinkers knew that true connections should lift you up. They understood that good companions help you grow. Like a good gardener tends a plant, they don't try to pull you down or make you question your own value. Your worth isn't something someone else gives you or takes away. It's already inside you, a steady, bright flame. And it's okay, and even necessary, to be curious about why someone might want to dim that. It's a quiet invitation to protect your own light. Your feelings don't seem to matter. Have you ever talked about something important to you, deep down, and felt like your words just floated away, unheard? It's a heavy feeling, like a secret whisper swallowed by a loud room. When you share how you truly feel, maybe you're sad, excited, or worried, and the person you're with brushes it aside, or changes the subject. That's when your feelings start to seem invisible. This isn't about someone disagreeing with you. It's about them not even seeing your feelings as real or important enough to acknowledge. Think about it like this. Your emotions are a vital part of who you are. They're like the colors in a painting. If someone tells you your favorite color doesn't matter, or that your red isn't really red, it feels confusing, right? It feels like they're trying to erase a part of your picture. For a long time, people have understood that truly caring about someone means listening to their heart. Old stories often talk about how wise friends would sit and just hear each other out. It's a way of saying, I see you. I get that this is real for you. When that connection is missing, it feels like you're talking to a wall, not a person. Imagine you're building something cool with a friend, and you have an important idea, but every time you suggest it, they just ignore you and keep doing their own thing. Eventually, you might stop suggesting ideas, right? You might even stop feeling excited about the project. This feeling, that your inner world isn't seen or valued, can make a relationship feel cold and empty. Even when someone is standing right next to you, it's a quiet kind of hurt. Your feelings deserve a space. They deserve to be heard, understood, and respected. Not every feeling needs to be fixed or agreed with, but every feeling needs to be acknowledged. To truly connect, we need to know that our real selves, the parts inside, are safe to share and matter to someone else. It's about being seen, deeply and truly. They never say sorry first. Have you ever noticed how sometimes, after a disagreement, the silence can feel heavier than the argument itself? It's about that moment when something goes wrong, and one person just can't bring themselves to say those two simple words, I'm sorry. It's not just about admitting a mistake. It's about showing you care about the other person's feelings, about the hurt. Think about really old stories, even ancient agreements between people. They often talked about making things right, about finding peace after conflict. Saying sorry has always been a way to mend what's broken, to show respect for the harm caused. It's like a bridge built with words. When someone you care about consistently avoids saying sorry, even when they've clearly messed up, it leaves a cold spot. It feels like your feelings don't matter as much, or that their pride is more important than your comfort. That can be a lonely feeling. Imagine you're working on a group project, and someone accidentally deletes half your work. It's a huge problem. If they just shrugged and walk away, how would you feel? But if they look at you, truly see the frustration, and say, oh no, I am so sorry, I messed up, let's fix it, that makes a huge difference. The mistake is still there, but the understanding changes everything. It's like putting a bandage on a small cut. The unsaid sorry can build a wall, brick by brick, between people. Each time it's skipped, a little more trust chips away. It can make you feel like you're not important enough to be acknowledged. And here's the thing about apologies. They aren't about weakness, they're about strength. They show courage, empathy, and a true desire to connect. When someone never says it first, it might be a sign they struggle to truly see you, or to put the relationship before themselves. It's worth asking yourself if that kind of imbalance feels right to you, because everyone deserves to feel seen, to have their feelings respected, and to know that a simple "I'm sorry" isn't too much to ask for. You keep secrets from your family about them. Have you ever found yourself hiding something important? Not a fun, surprising secret, but one that feels heavy, like a stone in your pocket. It's a different kind of secret when it's about someone you're close to, someone you're dating, and you're keeping it from the people who know you best, your own family. Maybe you don't mention the fights, or the times you felt disrespected. Perhaps you leave out details about how they treat you, or choices they make that you know your family wouldn't understand, or even approve of. This act of hiding isn't just about privacy. It's like slowly building a wall, brick by brick, between your relationship and the trusted circle of your home. Throughout history, and across many cultures, honesty within families has been seen as a cornerstone of strength. Ancient thinkers, like some of the old Greek philosophers, talked about integrity, the idea of being whole and undivided. For them, a person of integrity was consistent in their thoughts and actions, especially with those closest to them. When you keep big secrets from your family about a partner, it can create a split within you, where one part of you lives one way, and another part lives another, hidden way. This can make you feel less whole. Think of it like this: your family is often your first and most reliable compass. They help you navigate the world, offering advice and showing you true north. If you hide crucial information about your relationship, it's like deliberately spinning the compass or covering up its needle. You're not allowing them to help you, to give their honest opinion, because they don't have all the facts. And what's more, you lose the chance to have their real support, because they don't know the full story you're living. When we feel the need to hide parts of our story, especially from the people who love us unconditionally, it's often a quiet signal from deep inside. It whispers that maybe the story isn't one you're completely proud to share, or that there's something in the relationship you yourself aren't fully comfortable with. Listening to that quiet signal, that inner feeling, is really important. It can guide you towards clearer choices and help protect the genuine bonds that truly matter. They get mad when you hang out with others. Have you ever had a friend who got upset just because you spent time with other people? It feels a bit strange, right? When someone you care about in a relationship gets angry or sad, or even makes you feel guilty for hanging out with your family or other friends, that's a big sign to pay attention to. It's not about them missing you. It's more about wanting to control your time and who you spend it with. Think about it this way. Humans have always lived in groups. From ancient tribes to modern cities, we need different kinds of connections. We have family bonds, deep friendships, and even casual acquaintances. Each group gives us something different, a different kind of support or fun. When one person tries to cut you off from these other parts of your life, it's like they're trying to shrink your world down to just them. Here's the thing: a healthy relationship is like a sturdy tree. The tree has its main trunk and branches, but it also needs strong roots that spread out to find water and nutrients. It needs the sun, the rain, and even the other plants around it to truly thrive and grow tall. If someone tried to fence off that tree too tightly, cutting it off from the sunlight or stopping its roots from spreading, it would struggle. You need your own space, your own friends, your own interests to grow as a person. It's not about being disloyal. It's about being whole and complete. True connection lets you be exactly who you are, with all your different friendships and interests. A good partner understands you have other important people in your life, and they respect that you need time with them too. They want you to thrive, not just exist for them. This means trust, and it means celebrating each other's full lives, not limiting them. So, when someone tries to make you choose, remember that genuine love encourages you to shine your brightest, not dim your light. You're always the one reaching out first. Have you ever felt that quiet tug? Like you're constantly the one sending the first text or suggesting plans. It starts small, but can grow into a heavy feeling. Often, you see an empty chat, waiting for your message to begin. You're always kicking off the "how are you?" or "want to hang out." Here's the thing: truly good relationships with friends or anyone need effort from both sides. Think about pushing a swing. For it to stay fun and high, both people take turns. If only one person always pushes, they get tired, and the swing stops. Even wise thinkers like Aristotle, from ancient Greece, understood this. He believed true friendship needed a balance of giving and taking, a shared effort over time. If one person always starts, the connection feels off. It's like trying to keep a tiny campfire burning alone. Imagine a school project. You do all the planning. Your group just waits for your next instruction. How would that feel? Tired, unimportant. That's how it feels when you're always reaching out. It makes you wonder how much the other person truly cares, and that's why it matters. When you consistently make all the effort, it can make you feel less valued. It makes you question if the relationship is truly wanted by both. A strong connection feels like a gentle back. Both people feel important enough to start things. It's a dance of shared interest, not a solo show. This reminds us that relationships thrive on mutual care, not just one person's constant push. They talk about their exes a lot. Have you ever wondered what it means when someone you're getting to know always brings up their old relationships? It's like they have a favorite story they can't stop telling. And it's not just a quick mention. It's often, and it takes up a lot of the conversation. This can feel confusing, right? When someone talks a lot about their exes, it can sometimes mean their heart and mind are still a bit stuck in the past. It's hard to build something new and strong if part of you is still living in what was before. Think about it like this. Imagine you're trying to build an amazing new tree. You're picking out new wood, planning cool designs, and looking forward to all the fun times you'll have there. But the person helping you keeps bringing up their old tree. They talk about how much they loved it, all the cool things it had, and maybe even how much they miss it. How would that make you feel about your new treehouse project? Would you feel like they were really excited about this one, or just wishing for the old one? For centuries, people have understood the idea of letting go to make room for new things. Ancient thinkers often talked about how important it is to be fully present, to live in the now. If our minds are constantly looking back, we miss what's right in front of us. It's like trying to drive forward while always looking in the rearview mirror. You might not see the road ahead clearly. So, when a relationship is filled with stories of old loves, it can make it hard for the new love to truly bloom. It's a reminder that a real connection needs both people to be fully invested, facing forward, ready to create their own new stories together. It's about making space for you, not a shadow from the past. It's a quiet signal about where someone's heart truly resides. You don't feel like yourself anymore. Have you ever looked at your own reflection and felt a little unsure who was staring back? Maybe you used to love bright colors, but now your closet is full of clothes your partner likes. Maybe you stopped playing your favorite video game because they found it boring, and now you spend your time doing what they want. Here's the thing, sometimes, when we really care about someone, we start to change for them. We want them to like us, so we bend and twist ourselves into something we think they'll prefer. It's like becoming a chameleon, always changing your colors to match the room you're in. But after a while, you might forget what your true color even was. This isn't a new idea. Hundreds of years ago, smart thinkers wondered about identity, about what makes us us. They talked about the importance of knowing thyself, of understanding your core self. It means figuring out what really makes your heart sing, what beliefs are truly yours, and what dreams only you can dream. But here's the problem. When you change too much, you start losing those parts of yourself. Imagine your favorite tree in the park. It stands tall and strong, reaching for the sun. But if it started bending and twisting only to please another tree next to it, it might lose its own unique shape. It might even struggle to stand strong. That's how it can feel when you give up too much of yourself in a relationship. You lose your unique shape, your own quiet strength, and that's why it matters. Your true self, with all its quirks and passions, is precious. It's the map that helps you navigate your own life. When you lose that map, you can feel lost, even when you're right next to someone you love. It's okay to grow and change naturally, but not to erase the amazing person you already are. Your identity is a treasure, a beautiful, one-of-a-kind thing. Keep it safe. It's the real you, and that's the best you can be. They ignore your texts for hours. Ever sent a text, seen that delivered notice, and then just waited. And waited. That little bubble sits there, alone, unanswered. With each passing minute, a tiny crack appears in your calm. It's not just a message, it's a piece of you, a thought, a feeling, reaching out. When it's left hanging, it feels like you were left hanging. A question forms. Did they even see it? Do they care enough to reply? Think about it. For thousands of years, people have found ways to connect across distances. Smoke signals, letters carried by horse, even just a wave across a field. The point was always to connect, to know someone heard you, to get a reply. It's a basic human need, to be seen and acknowledged. When your message sits, gathering digital dust, it feels like you're shouting into an empty room. Here's the thing. It's like playing a game and calling out to a teammate for the ball, but they just keep running, ignoring your shout. You feel invisible, unimportant. Or imagine asking your parents a question and they just stare at their phone, not even looking up. That sting is real, a quiet ache that tells you your words aren't valued right then. Sometimes, people are truly busy, and a late reply is just a late reply. That happens. But when it's a pattern, when your messages consistently sit there, forgotten for hours and hours, it starts to whisper something important about how much you matter to them. It suggests you're not a priority, not someone they rush to hear from. This isn't about demanding instant attention. It's about how much value someone places on your connection. Everyone deserves to feel important, to feel like their voice matters, even in a simple text. Your time, your feelings, they are worth more than waiting for a reply that might never come, or comes only when convenient for them. This isn't about blaming anyone. It's about noticing and knowing what kind of care you truly deserve in any relationship. You constantly wonder if they even care. Do you ever find yourself just staring, a quiet question echoing, do they even care? This isn't a quick thought, like did I lock the door? It's a heavy feeling that keeps coming back, a small knot of doubt in your stomach. It makes you feel unsure, like you're waiting for something that might never come. Here's the thing about this constant wondering, it takes up so much space in your head. You're always looking for clues, a quick text back, a thoughtful look, a simple question about your day. You search for small signs that prove you matter. When those signs don't appear, or feel forced, the question grows louder. Ancient thinkers understood that real connections, true friendships, needed both people to show they valued each other. It's a basic human need to feel important and seen. You want to know you're not just an afterthought. Everyone wants to feel chosen, to know someone else genuinely cares. Think of it like a special plant. You water it, ensure it gets sunlight, but then you notice its leaves are droopy, or it just isn't thriving. You wonder, am I doing enough? Or is this plant not meant to grow here? You constantly check, hoping for a new bud, a sign of life. That constant checking, that hope mixed with doubt, is a lot like wondering if someone truly cares about you. This constant questioning isn't just about the other person, it's about your own peace. Always searching for proof of care takes away your calm. A healthy connection should feel like a safe harbor, a quiet knowing, not a stormy sea. You deserve to feel cared for without having to ask that question every single day. Your heart deserves that quiet knowing. They make big plans without asking you. Have you ever felt like you're standing right next to someone, but their mind is miles away, building a future where you don't seem to fit? It's a quiet feeling when someone close starts talking about big plans, maybe moving after high school, or buying something years from now, and they speak as if these choices are already made, without asking your thoughts. It's like they're drawing their life map, but forgot to mark you on it. This isn't about controlling someone, or making every small decision together, but in close relationships, there's an unspoken understanding. It's like how old communities worked. When a group decided to move or build, everyone's voice mattered. Everyone helped shape the future, because they were all in it together. Even old philosophers talked about how shared goals strengthen bonds, making people feel connected and valued. Think of it like two people playing a video game, building a world together, your partners, deciding where to put houses, roads, monuments. But then, one day, your partner logs on and has built an entire new city on the other side of the map. A city you never discussed, filled with things you never knew they wanted. You're left looking at the empty space where you thought you were building, wondering where you fit into their brand new design. This feeling, when big plans are made without your input, can feel like a small crack in something you thought was solid. It makes you question your place in their world, and if your dreams still matter. It's a quiet whisper asking, are we still walking the same path? True connection means building those future roads side by side, brick by brick, not just one person paving the way alone. It's about knowing your voice is important, and that your shared future is something you both imagine and create together. You feel pressured to change for them. Have you ever felt a quiet tug? A soft whisper telling you that the person you are isn't quite good enough. It's a heavy feeling, like wearing shoes that are too small. This isn't about learning or growing, which are healthy parts of life. Instead, It's about someone making you feel like your core self. Your unique quirks, interests, even quiet thoughts, needs to be different. It's like being asked to dim your own light so theirs can shine, or change your song to match their rhythm, just to earn their approval. For a very long time, thinkers have explored what it means to be true to oneself. Ancient philosophers, like Socrates from long ago, talked about knowing yourself. They believed understanding who you truly are, deep down, is one of life's most important journeys. This isn't about being stubborn. It's about honoring the person you genuinely are, who you feel in your heart and mind. Imagine a vibrant wild sunflower. It loves the sun, stands tall, and turns its face to the light. Now, imagine someone telling that sunflower it would be prettier if it tried to be a delicate rose or a towering oak. They might ask it to change its petals, or grow bark instead of a stalk. The sunflower would twist and struggle, trying to be something it's not. It might even start to wilt because it's not living its truth. Trying to force yourself into a shape that isn't yours can make you lose your own bloom. When a relationship asks you to leave parts of yourself behind, or to put on a mask, it stops being a place of comfort and starts feeling like a performance. True connection, real belonging, happens when your natural self is seen, understood, and loved without conditions. It's a quiet promise that you are enough, just as you are, and that your unique story is exactly what makes you special. They never remember important dates. Have you ever felt a small, quiet ache when someone truly important to you forgets something that mattered deeply, like your birthday, or an anniversary of a day you both shared that felt incredibly special? It's not just about numbers on a calendar, is it? It's about what that date holds. A memory, a specific feeling, a quiet moment that made you feel seen, that made you, you. When those memories are overlooked, it can feel like part of your own story is being forgotten too. When a person in a relationship consistently forgets these important days, not just once, but over and over, it can feel like a slow, quiet erosion. It's more than just a bad memory or being too busy. It's deeper. Think of it like this. Since forever, humans have marked time and remembered events. We write stories about our past and celebrate holidays that connect us. These stories and dates aren't just facts. They've become the strong, invisible threads that weave our lives together, making a rich fabric of connection. When someone you care about forgets these threads, it's as if they are not fully engaged in weaving your shared story. Imagine, you're building a detailed sandcastle with a friend at the beach. You both talk about the clever design for the special tower you made last Tuesday, or the intricate moat from 2 weeks ago. You remember these details because they are part of your shared adventure. But what if your friend kept forgetting about the tower, or acted like the moat never happened? It would slowly start to feel like they weren't really there in those moments, or that their memories of your shared build weren't as strong or important as yours. You might begin to wonder if the whole sandcastle, your shared effort, truly mattered to them. Here's the thing. Healthy relationships are built on shared experiences, and, crucially, the remembrance of those experiences. Each important date is like a small, precious treasure chest, holding a piece of your combined journey, a quiet acknowledgement of what you've built. When someone consistently leaves these chests unopened, or acts like they don't exist, it sends a quiet, but powerful, message. It suggests that perhaps the past you share, the moments you've lived, aren't holding the same weight or significance for them, and that, in turn, can make you feel unseen, unheard, and maybe a little less valued. It's a subtle sign, sometimes, that the connection might be missing a vital layer of careful attention, a layer that truly remembers and cherishes the journey you're on together. It leaves you wondering if your unique presence, and the story you're creating, truly matters in the grand scheme of their days. You often feel jealous of their other friends. Have you ever felt a small, twisty feeling in your stomach when your special friend talks about spending time with someone else? It's like a quiet whisper, asking, "Am I still important?" This feeling, often called jealousy, isn't just about wishing they didn't have other friends. Here's the thing. It's often about you feeling less secure. It's a worry that you might be replaced, or that your unique connection isn't as strong as you thought. Think about it this way. Since ancient times, humans have needed to belong. Our ancestors lived in groups, and being left out could be dangerous. Our brains still carry some of that old programming. When a close bond feels threatened, even a little, our minds can send out a warning signal, a kind of alarm bell that rings, saying, "Watch out, your place in the group might be at risk." This isn't always logical. but it's very real. Imagine you and a friend always sit together at lunch, sharing secrets and laughing. Then, one day, they invite someone new to sit with you, and suddenly, they're laughing even harder with the new person. You might feel a little chill, a quiet worry that your special spot is shrinking. This isn't because the new person is bad, but because that feeling of security you had with your friend feels a bit shaky. Your brain, in its own way, is trying to protect that special connection you value. So, when that knot of jealousy tightens, it's not just a sign about your friend, it's often a quiet message from your own heart. It's asking, do I feel truly valued here? Do I feel safe and secure in this bond? Understanding this feeling can help you see what you truly need in a friendship, and whether this relationship is giving you that sense of peace. They put down your dreams or ideas. Have you ever had a brilliant spark, a quiet wish, or a big plan forming in your head? Maybe it was about starting a club, learning a new skill, or even just a fun idea for a project, and then you shared it with someone, hoping they'd get it, hoping they'd cheer you on, but instead, they made a face. They said it was silly, or impossible, or not worth your time. That feeling, that moment when your bright idea gets dimmed by someone else's words, that's what we're talking about here. Here's the thing. Our dreams and ideas are like fragile seedlings. They need sunlight and gentle care to grow. When someone you care about constantly sprays cold water on them, it's not just about the idea itself. It's about how they see you. Long ago, even great thinkers like the ancient Greek philosopher Plato talked about the power of imagination and the importance of following your own path. He believed that each person had a unique role to play, a special genius to bring out. If someone always dismisses what makes your spirit leap, they are ignoring a core part of you. Imagine you're building a towering castle with LED. You're excited, showing your friend the cool design you have in mind, the special towers, the secret passages, and your friend just walks by and kicks over a wall, saying, "That's stupid. It'll never be as good as mine." It hurts, right? It makes you want to stop building. In a relationship, it's like someone always kicking over your Lego walls. They don't just reject the castle, they reject the builder. This isn't about expecting everyone to agree with every single idea you have. That's not real life. But it is about genuine respect for your inner world. It's about someone valuing your potential, even if your ideas seem a little wild or unformed at first. When someone truly cares, they listen, they ask questions, and they support you, even if it's just by saying, "Tell me more." The space for your imagination should feel safe, not like a place where dreams go to be criticized. It's a quiet knowing that your deepest thoughts, your wildest hopes, are safe with them, and will be met with care, not a dismissive wave. You spend too much time trying to fix things. Maybe you've felt it, that heavy sigh after another argument, or the quiet ache of disappointment. What if a relationship feels like a broken thing you're always trying to mend? Here's the thing. Sometimes, we get caught in a cycle. We keep trying to fix the cracks, smooth over the rough edges, or glue back the pieces. We put in so much effort, so much heart, thinking if we just try harder, it will all be okay. True connections shouldn't feel like constant repair. They should feel more like growing together, not a project you're always tinkering with. Wise thinkers long ago saw how life works. A tree forced to grow in poor soil, or a river blocked by too many stones. Struggles. Sometimes, the most peaceful thing is to understand what is and what isn't. It's like knowing when a puzzle piece truly doesn't fit. No matter how hard you push, don't think about trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. You can try to shave it down, force it, but it will never truly fit right. All that effort, and it's still not quite what it's supposed to be. Your energy is precious. Spending it all on something that consistently resists fixing can wear you down. It takes away from other parts of your life, leaving you tired and empty. It takes a deep kind of bravery to step back and ask, am I fixing something that wants to be whole, or just holding on to a memory of what it once was, or what I wished it could be? Sometimes, the most loving thing for yourself is to realize not everything is meant to be fixed by you, or at all. There's a quiet strength in letting go, in knowing when to put your tools down and seek peace, instead of constantly reaching for more glue. They don't respect your boundaries. Ever feel like someone keeps stepping over a line you've drawn, even after you've told them where it is? That line is called a boundary. It's not about keeping people out forever. It's about showing others where your personal space, your feelings, and your needs begin. Think of it like having your own room. You decide who comes in and when, and how they act inside it. Here's the thing. Even long ago, people knew everyone needs their own sense of self. Ancient thinkers and storytellers often talked about individual worth, the idea that each person is important. They understood we all need our own space to think and feel without being constantly pushed or pressured. It's about honoring the you in you. Imagine you have a favorite spot in your backyard, maybe under a big tree. You've asked your friend not to play loud music there because it's your quiet place to read. But day after day, they show up with their music blasting anyway. It makes your stomach clench. It's not just about the music, it's about them ignoring what matters to you. It's like that with emotional boundaries too. Maybe you need alone time after school to calm down, but they keep calling and texting, even when you've said you need quiet. When someone you care about consistently steps over those lines, it can feel like they don't really see you or what you need. It whispers a quiet message that your feelings, your comfort, and your needs don't matter as much as what they want. And that's why it matters deeply. True connection builds on understanding, not on constantly trying to push past someone's carefully placed walls. It's about honoring each other's inner world, finding peace in shared respect, and knowing that your quiet, no or not now, is just as important as your loudest yes. It's about feeling safe enough to just be yourself. You feel exhausted after seeing them. Have you ever spent time with someone, and afterward, you just felt completely empty, not physically tired from running around, but deep down, in your spirit, you feel drained, like all your energy got sucked away? It's a strange kind of tiredness, different from a long school day or a tough workout. This is a tiredness that comes from within. After being with a specific person, here's the thing. Our connections with people are supposed to give us strength, right? For centuries, thinkers have talked about how important friends are for our well-being. Ancient philosophers believed that true friends lift each other up, helping each other become better people. They thought good friendships added to your soul or your inner self, making you feel more alive. So, if a relationship leaves you feeling like a deflated balloon, it's worth paying attention to that feeling. Think of yourself like a phone battery. When you connect with certain people, it's like plugging into a charger. You leave feeling refreshed, full of power, ready for whatever comes next. But with others, it's like your phone runs a demanding app in the background. It constantly drains power, even when you think you're doing nothing. You start at 100%, hang out for an hour, and suddenly you're at 20%, wondering what happened. This isn't about blaming anyone, just how some energy connections work, and that's why it matters. This feeling of exhaustion, this deep drain, is a quiet signal from your own heart. It's telling you something important about how this connection is affecting you. True relationships, the ones that last and truly nurture us, should leave us feeling lighter, stronger, and more ourselves. They should be like sunshine, not a storm that leaves you feeling waterlogged and worn out. Listening to that quiet voice inside you, the one that recognizes when your battery is low, is an act of real self-care. It's remembering that your energy is precious, and it deserves to be protected. They keep flirting with other people. Have you ever felt a small, uneasy twist in your stomach when someone you care about, someone who is supposed to be your person, seems to be looking for attention from others? It's not about just being friendly. It's different when someone in a relationship constantly flirts, laughs a little too loudly, or gives special glances to people who aren't their partner. Here's the thing. Flirting is a way of showing interest, a way of saying, hey, I see you, and I want you to see me too. When that energy and focus go towards someone outside your relationship, it can feel like a quiet pulling away. It suggests a search for something, maybe validation or excitement, somewhere else. In old stories, and even in how ancient societies thought, loyalty was a huge deal. Think of knights who pledged themselves to a kingdom or a queen. Their attention and commitment were supposed to be completely focused there. It wasn't just about promises, but about showing, through their actions, where their true heart lay. When we commit to someone, we are, in a way, pledging our emotional loyalty and our focused attention to them. Imagine you're trying to build a really amazing treehouse with your best friend. You're both working hard, sharing ideas, feeling excited about your project, but then your friend keeps stopping, waving at other kids, laughing at their jokes, and even showing them how cool their tools are, instead of staying focused on the treehouse you're building together. It would make you wonder if your treehouse and your shared effort is still the most important thing to them. It's not about being clingy, it's about feeling like you're truly in this together. When someone keeps seeking that spark, that feeling of being desired from others, it can leave a cold spot in the heart of your own connection. It plants a seed of doubt, making you question if you are truly enough, or if their focus is truly on you. A lasting bond needs both people to make each other feel like they are the most important, the most valued, in their world. It's a quiet way of showing respect for the special space you share, and knowing you are truly chosen. You never talk about serious stuff. Have you ever noticed how some conversations just stay on the surface, like talking about school or what's for dinner, but never really digging deeper? Here's the thing, in any relationship, whether it's with a friend or someone you care about deeply, there comes a time when you need to talk about real feelings, the big stuff, things that worry you, dreams you have, or even past hurts. If those talks never happen, if you always just skim along the top, it's like a quiet sign, a feeling that something important is missing. Long ago, even philosophers like Aristotle talked about true friendship. He believed that real friends share their souls, their innermost thoughts. It wasn't just about having fun, it was about seeing each other's truth. In a way, it's always been understood that deep connections require deep understanding. You can't truly understand someone if you only know their surface-level thoughts. Think of it like building a house. You can paint the walls pretty colors and buy nice furniture, but if the foundation isn't strong, that house won't last through a storm. The foundation of a relationship is made of those serious talks. They are the tough, deep parts that hold everything together when life gets tricky. Without them, even the happiest moments can feel a bit fragile, like they could break. It's the difference between seeing a picture of an ice cream cone and actually tasting it. One is nice, but the other offers the full experience. When you avoid serious talks, it's not just that you're missing out on understanding the other person, you're also not letting them truly understand you, and that's a lonely feeling, isn't it? To be with someone but still feel alone in your deepest thoughts. Real connection asks for honesty and a bit of bravery. It asks you to open up, even when it feels scary. Because in that openness, a relationship finds its true strength and a lasting warmth that simple chatter can never provide. It creates a space where both people can truly belong, not just exist side by side. They compare you to other people. Have you ever felt that sinking feeling when someone you care about asks, "Why can't you be more like them?" It might be about a sibling, a friend, or even someone they know from TV. In a relationship, when this happens, it's like a little shadow falls over your own light. When someone you connect with starts comparing you to others, an ex-partner, a friend, or even an imaginary ideal, it's like they're hinting that who you are, right now, isn't quite good enough. They might say, "My last girlfriend always remembered to do this," or "James is so good at planning dates." These words can feel small, but they weigh heavy. They chip away at your confidence. Think about it this way. Each person is like a different, beautiful color in a painting. For hundreds of years, wise thinkers have spoken about the importance of being true to yourself. They taught that trying to be someone else means you lose a piece of who you actually are. It's like trying to force a red crayon to be blue. It just doesn't work, and it makes the red crayon feel bad about being red. This feeling tells you that your own special way of being, your unique strengths, are somehow less valuable or simply wrong. It's a quiet whisper that says you don't measure up. Here's the thing. Imagine you have two different kinds of fruit, maybe a crisp apple and a sweet peach. Both are delicious in their own ways, right? But if someone kept saying, "Why isn't this apple as juicy and soft as that peach?" it would feel unfair. The apple is great because it's an apple. It's the same in a relationship. You are not a collection of parts to be compared against someone else's best qualities. You are a whole person, unique and complete. When someone constantly compares you, they aren't truly seeing you. They are seeing a list of qualities they wish you had, borrowed from other people. And that's what matters. Real connection, true care, means seeing and loving the actual person standing right in front of them, with all your specific, wonderful traits. It means embracing and celebrating what makes you, you. You are enough, just as you are. Your worth isn't found in how you measure up against someone else. Your worth simply is, bright and strong. You constantly doubt their feelings for you. Asterisk, asterisk. You constantly doubt their feelings for you. Asterisk, asterisk. Have you ever felt like you're always asking yourself, do they really care, or are they just pretending? It's a heavy feeling, like a tiny stone in your shoe you can't quite shake off. This isn't just about small worries. It's about a deep-down wonder. Does this person truly value you, truly see you, truly want you in their life? Your gut whispers something different than their words, making you second-guess everything. People have thought about this feeling of doubt for a long time. Old Greek thinkers, for example, talked about pistis, which means trust. They knew without a basic belief in someone's honesty, any connection feels shaky. It's like trying to build on sand. It might stand, but you're always worried it will fall. When you constantly doubt, it's a persistent ache. It suggests the very foundation of your connection might feel weak. Think of it like a puzzle. If you're not sure a piece truly fits, you try to force it, or keep checking others. You spend more time doubting than actually building. In a relationship, this constant doubt makes you search for proof, for signs. It can make you feel tired and sad. Instead of just being with someone, you're constantly testing them, or worse, testing yourself. It's like being in a beautiful garden, but always looking for weeds. Here's the thing. That constant feeling of doubt often says more about the relationship itself than about your ability to trust. It's a quiet alarm bell. It asks us to look closely at what's happening and how those actions make us feel. Trust, or its absence, can tell you a lot about a connection's health. It's a chance to listen to that small voice inside you, the one trying to tell you something important about what you deserve. Maybe the real question isn't do they care, but why do I keep feeling this way? They always want to do what they want. Have you ever walked with someone, but they always pull you in the direction they want to go? Maybe you want to turn left to see something cool, but they're already halfway down the right path, expecting you to follow. In relationships, this feeling can become a quiet, constant ache. It's when one person's desires, their plans, their very will, always seems to overshadow the others. Your voice, your ideas, they often get lost, like whispers in a strong wind. This isn't about little things, like who chooses what to watch on TV sometimes. This is about a pattern, a deep imbalance. Think about it like an old idea from way back, when people first started living in groups. Even then, wise thinkers wondered about fairness. They knew that for any group, any partnership, to last, there had to be a give and take, a balance. If one person always took, and the other always gave, it wasn't really a partnership at all. It was more like one person being the sun, and the other just orbiting around them, never quite getting to shine. Don't imagine two kids trying to build a sandcastle together. One kid has all the big ideas, drawing grand designs in the sand, and telling the other exactly where to dig, what shape the towers should be. The other kid, who might have amazing ideas for a moat or a secret tunnel, never gets a chance to share them. Their hands just do what they're told. They build the castle, yes, but it's never their castle. Not truly. Over time, that second kid feels less like a builder and more like a tool. They stop bringing their own shovel. They stop even thinking up new ideas. When one person always calls the shots, when their wants always win, the relationship becomes lopsided. It stops being a shared journey and starts feeling like you're just a passenger in someone else's car. Even if you're supposed to be co-pilots, real connection asks for both voices to be heard, both hearts to matter. It reminds us that love means truly seeing the other person, not just a reflection of ourselves. You pretend to like things you don't. Have you ever found yourself nodding along, saying you love a band or a movie, when deep down, it just wasn't your thing? Maybe your friend is really into a certain video game, and you pretend to be interested, even though you'd rather do something else entirely. Here's the thing, when you pretend to like things you don't, especially in a close relationship, it's like building a hidden wall between you and the other person. You're constantly showing them a version of yourself that isn't quite real, and that can feel heavy over time. Think about it this way. Imagine you're a unique plant. To grow strong and healthy, you need the right sunlight, soil, and water for you. If you pretend to be a plant that needs shade when you actually need bright sun, you won't ever truly thrive. In the same way, your true self needs to be seen and accepted for you to grow freely in a relationship. Philosophers, even ancient ones like the Greeks, talked about the importance of authenticity. That's a big word, but it just means being honest about who you truly are. They believed a good life came from living that truth, not from putting on a show. It takes so much effort and energy to keep up a false front. Every time you smile at a joke you don't find funny, or agree with an opinion you don't share, a tiny piece of your real self gets hidden away. It's like trying to hold a heavy book steady for hours. Eventually, your arms get tired, and you just have to drop it because you can't keep it up. This constant pretending leaves you feeling drained and deeply unseen. And here's the quiet truth. If someone falls for the pretend you, they aren't truly falling for you, the person you really are. They're falling for the idea of you that you've created. Real, lasting connection doesn't grow in the shadow of pretend likes and dislikes. It blossoms when you feel safe enough to simply be who you are, quirks and all. Your real self, in its uniqueness, is always enough. They don't listen when you talk. Have you ever felt like you're speaking into an empty room, like your words just float away, unheard? It's a quiet kind of pain, isn't it? When you share something from your heart, something that truly matters to you, and the person you're with seems ... elsewhere. Maybe they nod, but their eyes are distant. Maybe they interrupt, changing the topic to something about themselves. Or perhaps they just scroll on their phone, barely glancing up. Here's the thing. Listening is more than just hearing sounds. Our ears pick up noise, sure, but true listening is about understanding, about caring, about giving a piece of your attention to another soul. Think about ancient times, even philosophers like Epictetus, who said we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, to listen more than we speak. It's a very old idea that truly hearing someone is a sign of respect, a way to connect deeply. It's how we build trust, how we learn about each other's inner worlds. Imagine you're trying to explain a really cool dream you had, full of strange places and wild adventures. You're excited, trying to paint a picture with your words, but the person you're telling it to keeps checking their watch, or cuts in to talk about their own dream that wasn't even similar. It feels like your dream, your experience, just shrunk and became small, unimportant. That feeling of being unheard can sting, like a small bruise on your spirit. It tells you, without words, that your thoughts might not be as valuable to them as you hoped. And that's why it matters so much. When someone consistently doesn't listen, it can feel like you're invisible, like your voice has no weight. A relationship needs both people to feel seen and heard, like their thoughts and feelings are held with care. To truly listen is to say, I see you, I value what you have to say. And when that quiet promise is broken again and again, it makes the space between 2 people feel very, very wide. It leaves you wondering if you're really walking together at all. You feel like a second choice. Have you ever felt like you're not someone's first pick? Like you're waiting on the sidelines while they choose other things, other people, before they even think of you? This feeling of being a second choice can really sting. It's when you sense that someone important to you doesn't see you as truly essential. Maybe they make plans with others first, or only give you their attention when their main options aren't available. It's a quiet ache, a question in your heart asking, am I good enough? For a long time, people have thought about what makes us feel valued. Think about how ancient thinkers, even thousands of years ago, talked about friendship. They believed true friendship meant seeing and valuing the other person for who they are, not just what they can do for you. It's about mutual respect, a sense that both people matter equally. When you feel like a second choice, that feeling of equal worth gets chipped away. Imagine you have a favorite snack. You save it for when you really want it, right? But what if someone only ever ate their least favorite snack, and only picked yours up when they had nothing else? That's kind of how it feels. Like you're the backup plan, not the main event. In science, we know that our brains are wired for connection, and when that connection feels weak or conditional, it can make us feel insecure. Our self-worth can take a hit. So, here's the thing. Everyone deserves to feel like they are someone's first choice sometimes, especially in important relationships. It's not about being selfish, but about recognizing your own value. And it's okay to want to be with people who make you feel seen, important, and truly chosen. That kind of connection helps you grow. Remember, your worth isn't something someone else gives you. It's something you carry inside, always. They get mad when you succeed. Have you ever shared good news, something you were really proud of, only to find the other person get quiet, or even seem a little annoyed, instead of happy for you? Here's the thing. Sometimes people get mad when you succeed. It's a confusing, hurtful feeling when someone you care about reacts this way. This isn't about you, but something inside them. Humans have grappled with seeing others do well for a long time. Ancient stories spoke of envy when someone gained power. This feeling creeps in when people compare their lives to yours and feel they're falling behind. It's not about them wishing you bad, but their struggles can make your light feel too bright. This reaction reveals more about their inner world than your achievement. Imagine pouring weeks into a big art project. You finish, it looks incredible. You show it to a friend, expecting cheers, but they just shrugged or quickly changed the subject. It's like a shadow falls over your bright moment. Their reaction isn't about your art. It's a window into their feelings of not being enough or feeling overlooked. Think of a light and a shadow. Your success isn't creating their darkness. It's just making existing shadows visible. So, when this happens, remember your worth and achievement are still real. You deserve to feel proud. This reaction signals deeper issues within the relationship. A true connection allows both people to shine, celebrating each other's victories without dimming their own light. It makes you think about what real support means and the positive energy you want to keep close. You're always making excuses for them. Have you ever found yourself doing this? Someone you care about does something that isn't quite right. Maybe they forget something important, or they're unkind, or they just don't show up when they said they would. And instead of letting that truth sit there, you quickly jump in. Oh, they're just having a bad day, you say. Or, they're really stressed with school right now, so it's understandable. You might even tell your friends, it wasn't their fault. Really, things just got in the way. Here's the thing about always making excuses for someone you're close to. It's like you're building a soft, protective bubble around them. You want to shield them from criticism, even if that criticism is fair. You want to believe the best, so you find reasons, any reasons, to explain away their actions. In a way, it's a form of loyalty, but it can also be a quiet struggle. When you constantly smooth over their mistakes, you might be avoiding a bigger, harder truth about how they truly act. Long ago, thinkers like the old Greek philosophers talked about knowing yourself. They meant truly seeing things as they are, without wishing them to be different. It's a very human thing to want to protect those we love, but it's also important to face reality. Think of it like a puzzle. If a piece doesn't fit, you can try to force it, or you can say, oh, the puzzle maker cut this piece wrong. But the picture still won't be complete. It means there's a problem with the piece you're holding. Or maybe you picked the wrong puzzle. This constant excusing can feel heavy. It makes you carry the weight of their choices. You become the storyteller, making their plot points sound better than they are. And when you do that, you slowly start to lose your own clear view. You begin to question your own feelings about what's okay and what's not. It teaches you to accept things that deep down, you know aren't good for you. It's a sign that something in the relationship might need a real, honest look, not just another excuse. They don't support your hobbies. Have you ever stopped to think about what makes you, you? It's not just your name or your favorite color. It's also the things you love to do when no one is watching. The activities that make your spirit feel alive. Maybe you draw, play an instrument, write stories, or spend hours perfecting a video game strategy. These are your hobbies, and they are precious parts of who you are. But here's the thing. Sometimes, in a relationship, one person might not truly support the other's passions. This isn't about just showing up to every game or art show. It's about how they feel about your joy. Do they roll their eyes when you talk about your latest project? Do they make little jokes that chip away at your excitement? It's a quiet kind of dismissal, but it can feel very loud in your heart. For thousands of years, people have found meaning and happiness in personal pursuits. Think about ancient cultures, where people carved intricate tools or wove beautiful patterns. These weren't just tasks. They were expressions of identity and skill. Our hobbies connect us to this long history of human creativity and self-discovery. They help us grow. Imagine you're trying to grow a delicate plant. You water it, give it sunlight, and speak kindly to it. That plant needs care to flourish. Your hobbies are like that plant. They need encouragement and respect to truly blossom. If someone you care about constantly suggests your hobby is a waste of time or silly, it's like denying that plant water. Over time, that part of you might start to wilt. You might even begin to believe their words, hiding away the things that bring you secret joy. A true connection should make you feel more like yourself, not less. It should be a safe space where all the unique, wonderful parts of you can shine. When someone truly loves you, they love the person who finds joy in drawing, or singing, or building. They respect your passions because they respect you. It's a simple, profound truth. Your interests are a reflection of your soul. They deserve to be cherished, not ignored. You feel like you're competing for their attention. Have you ever felt like you're constantly waving your hand, just trying to be seen? Like you're in a crowded room, but the person you care about keeps looking everywhere else. That's what it feels like when you're competing for someone's attention. It's not just about their busy schedule. It's about feeling like you're always fighting for a small piece of their focus, when you just want to feel important to them. It's when their phone, their other friends, or even their own thoughts seem more interesting than you are right now. You just want them to look at you, really look. Through history, people have always looked for connections where they feel truly seen. Even thousands of years ago, thinkers wrote about how real friendship means giving your full self. They knew that to truly connect, you need to be present. It's not a new idea that our deepest bonds need real, focused time, not just leftover moments. We crave being someone's priority. Even for a little while, think about telling your best story to someone who keeps glancing at their game, or saying what every other sentence. It's like trying to catch the eye of a busy waiter in a loud restaurant. You wave, you try to make eye contact, but they keep walking past, looking at other tables. It makes you feel invisible, doesn't it? Like your voice just isn't loud enough, or you're not interesting enough to break through their noise. But here's the thing. You shouldn't have to compete for the attention of someone who truly cares. Real connections aren't a contest. They flow easily, like two rivers joining, not like one river constantly pushing against another. When you're always chasing their focus, it starts to chip away at how you feel about yourself. You might wonder if you're truly worth their time, or if you matter as much. A healthy relationship should make you feel valued, not like you're running a race you can never quite win. It's okay to want to be seen, truly seen, by the people who matter, and you deserve to be. They make promises they don't keep. Have you ever had someone look you in the eye, make a promise, and then just forget it, or worse, pretend they never said it? Here's the thing. When someone you care about constantly makes promises they don't keep, it feels like a soft bruise on your heart. They might say, "I'll be there," or "I'll do that for you." But then their actions tell a different story. It's not just about the task itself, like doing chores or remembering a date. It's about something deeper. For a very long time, through all of human history, promises have been like invisible threads that hold people together. Think about vows in ancient times, or simple agreements between friends. Your word was your bond, meaning what you said you would do. When those threads snap, even small ones, it starts to feel like the connection is weakening. Imagine if you had a favorite app on your phone. It promises to open every time you tap it, or save your work when you hit save. But what if, sometimes, it just didn't? You'd quickly stop trusting that app, wouldn't you? You'd feel let down. That's a bit like what happens in a relationship when promises are broken over and over. Each time, a tiny piece of trust drifts away. It's like expecting the sun to feel warm, and finding it chilly instead. Day after day, this quiet chipping away of trust can be really tough. It's not loud or dramatic, but it creates a quiet doubt inside you. You start to question if their words mean anything at all. And when you can't rely on someone's words, it can be hard to rely on their heart. It leaves you feeling uncertain, wondering if you can truly count on them, or if you're standing on ground that feels less and less solid. You constantly seek their approval. Have you ever felt like you're always checking, always asking, "Is this okay? Am I good enough?" It's a quiet worry that whispers in your ear. It makes you feel like your worth depends on someone else's nod, their smile, their word. In a relationship, this means you might change how you act, what you say, even what you believe, just to make them happy. You dim your own light so theirs can shine brighter. It's like you're trying to fit into a shape that isn't quite yours, hoping they'll approve of the new you. But here's the thing. When you constantly chase someone else's approval, you slowly lose touch with your own true self. You start to forget what you like, what you want, who you really are. Think about what ancient thinkers used to say. Many wise people across history believed true strength comes from within. They spoke of finding your own center, your own sense of value, not letting others define it for you. It's about knowing you are whole, just as you are. This idea isn't new. It's a timeless truth. It suggests that building your own foundation of self-respect is key. Imagine a plant that always turns its leaves towards the strongest light. No matter how much it has to bend and twist, it's always looking outward for its energy. But a healthy plant also needs strong roots of its own, drawing nutrients from the soil beneath it. If it only relies on outside light, it might become weak, always stretching, never fully sturdy. In the same way, if you always rely on someone else's praise to feel good, your inner roots might not grow as strong. You become dependent on their sunshine, even on a cloudy day. So, here's what I found. When you always need someone else to tell you you're okay, it can be a sign that something deeper needs attention. It's a quiet nudge, asking you to look inside yourself, to trust your own heart, your own judgment, because the most lasting approval, the kind that truly matters, is the one you give yourself. It's about feeling at peace with who you are, without needing anyone else to confirm it. That kind of inner calm is a powerful thing to build. They make you question what really happened. Have you ever had a moment where someone told you something didn't happen the way you remember it? Like you're sure a conversation took place, or a promise was made, but they look at you blankly and say, "No, that never happened." Or maybe, "You're making that up." It's a strange feeling, isn't it? Like the ground beneath your feet suddenly isn't as solid as you thought. Here's the thing. Our memories are like our own personal history books. They tell us who we are, what we've learned, and what we've been through. We rely on them to understand the world around us. And when someone constantly tries to rewrite those pages, it can feel truly unsettling. It makes you start to doubt yourself, your own mind, and even your own feelings. Think about it like this. Imagine you and a friend are watching a movie together. Afterwards, you talk about your favorite parts. But then your friend insists that a scene you vividly remember simply wasn't in the movie. You argue, you feel confused, and you start to wonder if maybe you watched a different movie, or if your mind is playing tricks on you. This isn't about small details, but about big, important things that shape how you feel about a situation or a person. Long ago, thinkers believed that knowing what is real, what is true, was a huge part of living well. If you can't even trust your own experiences, how can you trust anything? When someone you care about makes you question what really happened, it chips away at your ability to trust your own senses and feelings. And that's a lonely place to be. So, when someone makes you doubt your own story, your own truth, it's a deep sign. It shows a lack of respect for your reality. And a relationship where your truth isn't honored can never truly feel safe or real. It's important to stand firm in what you know in your heart. You feel like you can't be honest. Have you ever felt like you had to keep a part of yourself hidden? Like there was a secret room inside you, and you couldn't let anyone else in? That's what it feels like when you can't be honest in a relationship. It's not just about telling big lies. It's also about not sharing your real feelings, or the small things you worry about, or even the mistakes you've made. You might bite your tongue instead of speaking your mind. You might pretend to agree with something you don't. And here's the thing. It's because you're afraid. Afraid of what the other person will think, afraid they'll be upset, or even afraid they might leave. For a long time, thinkers and philosophers, even way back in ancient Greece, understood how important truth was. They saw honesty as the glue that held people, and even whole societies, together. If you can't trust what someone says, how can you build anything real with them? It's like building a house on sand. You want solid ground. Imagine you have a beautiful, delicate plant. To grow, it needs sunlight and water. But what if you felt like you had to hide it in a dark closet, never letting it see the light? It would struggle to survive. Your true self is like that plant. It needs the light of honesty to truly grow and thrive in a relationship. When you feel you can't be honest, it's like keeping that plant hidden away. You're not allowing your true self to be seen, to breathe, or to be loved for who it really is. And that's why it matters so much. A constant feeling of needing to hide or pretend can be incredibly heavy. It's like carrying a secret burden all the time. Real connection happens when you feel safe enough to be totally yourself, flaws and all. To truly feel peace, you need to know you can lay your thoughts out, naked and unafraid, and still be accepted. That kind of freedom is a quiet, powerful gift. They get defensive easily. Have you ever tried to share something important, maybe how you truly felt, and the person you're talking to suddenly gets really upset, like you weren't trying to help, but instead, you were attacking them? That's what it feels like when someone gets defensive. It's like they have a strong wall ready to go up at the slightest hint of trouble or disagreement. In a relationship, when someone always jumps to defend themselves, even over small things, it can make you feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells. You start to become extra careful about what you say, afraid you'll accidentally trigger their protective shields. Think about it. For a long time, people have thought about protecting their inner self. Ancient thinkers, like the Greek philosophers, talked about keeping your mind clear and your spirit calm, guarding against things that could upset you. They meant protecting your peace. But there's a big difference between protecting your inner peace and refusing to hear anything that might make you feel uncomfortable. When someone is always on the defensive, they might be trying to shield themselves from feeling bad, even if it means shutting out honest feelings or important truths. Imagine you're trying to play a friendly game of catch, but the other person keeps their baseball glove glued to their face, constantly blocking even the softest toss. You can't really play the game, can you? That's kind of like being in a relationship with someone who is always defensive. You can't truly connect or share anything real because that emotional shield is always in the way. It stops open conversations and makes it very hard to be truly honest. Here's the thing about real connection. It grows when we can bravely put our shields down sometimes. It takes courage to truly listen, even when what you hear is difficult. It takes a gentle heart to understand that sometimes someone is just trying to share their experience, not to point a blame-filled finger. When defensiveness becomes a habit, it blocks the kindness, understanding, and trust that relationships need to grow strong and true. It leaves you feeling quite alone, even when you're standing right next to someone you care about. You feel misunderstood all the time. Have you ever felt like you're talking, but your words just float away, like the person you care about isn't quite getting what's really inside your head? It's a deeply lonely feeling, isn't it? This isn't just about small mix. This is when you share your true self, your deepest thoughts, or even just how your day really went, and their response shows they didn't quite hear you. They missed the real point. Or, sometimes, they even twist your meaning into something you never intended. It leaves you feeling like you're speaking a different language, even when you're right there with someone you're supposed to be close to. For thousands of years, people have wondered how we truly understand each other. Ancient thinkers, like those in old Greece, wrote about how everyone sees the world from their own unique spot. It's like we each have our own personal lens through which we view everything. Building a real connection means trying to see through someone else's lens, even for a moment. But here's the thing. When that bridge of understanding keeps breaking down, it makes you feel invisible. Think about it like this. Imagine you're showing someone a beautiful, complex painting you made, full of colors and hidden meanings. You explain why each brushstroke matters, but they just glance at it and say, "Oh, nice blue," and then go back to their phone. They didn't see the story. They didn't feel the emotion you poured into it. Or, picture two friends trying to solve a puzzle together. One friend is looking at the picture on the box, but the other friend is trying to build a totally different picture from the same pieces. They're both working hard, but they'll never end up with the same result, because they don't share the same vision. They don't understand each other's goal. When this disconnect happens over and over in a relationship, it creates a quiet, heavy sadness. It slowly eats away at the feeling of being safe, trusted, and truly seen. Because at its very heart, love needs us to feel heard, understood, and valued for exactly who we are. Without that deep understanding, it's hard for anything real and strong to grow. It's a sign that maybe, deep down, the connection isn't built on a foundation of shared understanding, and that can be a truly difficult thing to carry. They make you choose between them and friends. Imagine for a moment a choice you never thought you'd have to make. What if someone you cared about deeply asked you to choose between them and your friends? This isn't just a tough question. It's a heavy feeling that can slowly make your world feel smaller. It's when a partner starts to push away the people who have always been there for you, making you feel guilty for spending time with anyone but them. This kind of demand can make you feel lonely, even when you're with that person. For thousands of years, humans have relied on their tribe, their community, their friends. Ancient thinkers, long before phones or even books, knew how much friends helped us grow and feel safe. It's built into us, this need for many different kinds of connections. We learn different things from different people, and each friendship adds something special to our lives. Here's the thing. Your friendships are like the different colored strings in a strong, beautiful tapestry. Each thread is unique, but woven together, they make something truly amazing and lasting. If someone starts pulling out those threads, saying you only need one, the whole picture becomes weak and unfinished. A healthy relationship understands that you have a rich life outside of just them. It celebrates all the parts that make you, you. So, when someone tries to cut you off from your friends, it's not a sign of deep love. It's often a sign of something else, like a fear of being left out, or a need for control. True love and true partnership should make your world bigger, not smaller. It respects all the people who bring joy and support into your life. It adds to your happiness, rather than taking pieces of it away. You've stopped telling them how you feel. Have you ever found yourself keeping quiet, even when you have a lot to say inside? Maybe you used to share everything with someone, all your worries and joys, but now, those words just get stuck. You think them, you feel them, but you don't say them. Here's the thing. When we stop telling someone how we truly feel, it's a big sign. It's like a quiet alarm bell, ringing softly in the distance. Think about what makes people close. A lot of it is sharing. It's letting someone see into your heart, even the messy parts. For a long time, people have talked about how important it is to speak your truth. Ancient thinkers believed that honesty, especially with those you care about, builds strong bonds. They understood that secrets, even quiet ones about your own feelings, can grow into walls. Imagine your feelings are like messages. In a healthy connection, these messages flow freely, back and forth. It's like how a plant needs water every day. If you stop watering it, it doesn't suddenly die, but it slowly starts to droop. Its leaves might curl, and its color might fade. Your connection with the other person works a bit like that. Each shared feeling is like a small sip of water for your relationship. When you hold back, the connection doesn't get what it needs. You might think it doesn't matter, but it does. The distance grows, not with angry words, but with silent ones. And here's what happens. Over time, that silence can make two people feel very far apart, even when they're standing right next to each other. It's a quiet fading, like a song playing softer and softer until you can barely hear it. Maybe it's time to ask yourself why the music stopped. They only care about themselves. Have you ever been around someone who only seems to talk about themselves? Who, no matter what you say, finds a way to turn the conversation back to their own day, their own problems, their own victories. It's more than just annoying sometimes. It's a quiet sign that something deeper is missing in a relationship. When someone truly only cares about themselves, it's like they're living in a world where they are the bright, burning sun, and everyone else just orbits around them. Their needs, their feelings, their wants, they always come first. Often, they might not even realize it. For thousands of years, people have wondered about this side of human nature. Ancient thinkers called this idea ego or self-centered. They talked about how challenging it is to truly step outside our own heads, to truly listen, to truly care about another's world. But in a friendship or any close connection, this ability is vital. If one person is always the focus, the other person starts to feel small, invisible, unheard. Their own thoughts and feelings begin to feel like they don't quite matter. Think about a time you tried to share exciting news, like getting a good grade or winning a game, but before you could even finish, the other person was already telling you about something even better that happened to them. Or when you really needed comfort after a tough day, and they quickly switched the topic to their own, even worse, experience. It's like standing in front of a mirror that only reflects one person, no matter who else is standing there. The image never shifts. A relationship can't truly grow when one person is always looking at their own reflection, never truly seeing the other dot, and that's why it matters. A true connection, a lasting bond, isn't about one person's story being the only story that counts. It's about two stories weaving together, each one valued, each one heard. It's about seeing, truly seeing, the person standing next to you, not just a reflection of yourself. When someone can't do that, the path forward together becomes very, very lonely. Like walking alone on a path meant for two. You feel more worried than happy. Have you ever felt a knot in your stomach when you think about someone important in your life? It's like a quiet hum of stress, always there. A good relationship should make your days feel lighter, not heavier. It should bring joy, not take it. But sometimes, we get used to feeling worried, even when a connection is supposed to bring us peace. Here's how to think about it. For ages, people have thought about what makes a good life. Ancient thinkers talked about finding inner peace, a calm spirit. They believed true happiness was a deeper feeling of living well, where connections help you thrive, not struggle. If a relationship mostly brings anxiety, fear, or sadness, then it's working against that deep need for peace. It's like trying to build a strong house on shaky ground. Imagine your favorite house. To grow, it needs sunlight, water, and good soil. If that plant is always in the dark, or given too little water, it won't be healthy. It might survive, but it won't flourish. It would always look droopy, stressed, fighting just to stay alive. A healthy relationship is like that plant, getting what it needs to bloom. When you're more worried than happy, it's like your own inner plant is struggling, always fighting to find its light. And that's why it matters. Your feelings are a compass. If the needle points towards worry instead of joy, it's telling you something important. It's a quiet whisper from your heart, letting you know the balance is off. Remember, your heart deserves a garden, not a desert. It deserves connections that nurture your spirit, letting you bloom, not just survive. Your peace is precious, and it should be protected. They don't introduce you to their family. Have you ever thought about why meeting someone's family feels like such a big deal? When someone truly cares, they usually want you to meet the people who made them who they are. Their family, with all its quirks and traditions, is a huge part of their world. So, when they keep you separate, it can feel like a closed door, a fence that won't come down. Think about how people lived a long time ago. Families weren't just important, they were everything. People grew up and worked with relatives. Bringing someone new into that group was a serious step. It meant, this person is special to me, special enough for my whole life. Even now, our families often shape our values and how we act. They're like a tree's roots, helping us grow. Imagine you have a super secret spot, like a fort, or a special notebook with private drawings. You wouldn't show it to just anyone. You'd only share it with someone you really trusted, someone you want to keep close. If your friend never invited you to their special spot, or showed you that hidden part, even after a long time, you might start to wonder. You might think, do they truly see me as a close friend, one who belongs? When someone doesn't introduce you to their family, it can leave a quiet ache in your heart. It makes you wonder if they truly see you as a lasting part of their future. It might mean they're not ready to connect your life with theirs. It's a gentle hint that something important is missing. The deep wish to truly bring your lives together, to share all their pieces. This sharing is where real connection starts. You feel like a burden to them. Have you ever felt like your presence, your needs, or even just your feelings, were a heavy weight for someone you cared about? It's a quiet, sad whisper in your mind. This feeling can creep in when you think you're asking too much, or that the other person would be happier, lighter, or have an easier time if you just weren't there needing anything. It's like you're taking up too much space, or draining their energy just by existing. This feeling can be one of the loneliest a person experiences. Here's the thing. Human beings are built for connection. For a very long time, thinkers have talked about how we need each other. Think about ancient communities where people shared tasks, helped neighbors, or shared food. The idea was that everyone contributed and everyone received help without shame. No one was meant to carry every load by themselves. So, if you consistently feel like a burden, it goes against that deep human desire to support each other freely. Imagine a beautiful, growing plant. It needs sunlight, water, and sometimes some good soil to truly thrive. If the plant could feel, and it felt bad every time it needed water, like it was bothering the gardener, what would happen? It would try to go without, slowly wilting. A good gardener doesn't see watering the plant as a burden. They see it as care, as part of keeping something precious alive. In a healthy relationship, asking for what you need, whether it's comfort, help with homework, or just a listening ear, should feel like watering that plant. It's a natural part of growth and care. If it feels like a chore for them, or something you must apologize for, then something is off. This feeling that you are a burden isn't about your value. You are not a burden. It's about the kind of space and acceptance the relationship actually offers. A healthy connection makes you feel lighter, seen, and truly valued for who you are, with all your needs. It should never make you feel like a problem or a weight to carry. True bonds uplift. They don't weigh you down. They share your secrets with others. Have you ever told someone a secret, a real one, something deep inside you, something only they were supposed to know? When that secret gets out, not from you, but from them, it feels like a punch to the gut. It feels like a part of you that was supposed to be safe is suddenly out in the open, exposed. This isn't just about gossip. It's about trust, and how easily it can break. Trust is like an invisible promise, a quiet agreement that certain things shared will stay sacred between two people. When someone shares your secrets with others, they're not just talking, they're breaking that invisible promise. A tiny crack forms in the bond you thought was strong, perhaps unbreakable. You gave them a piece of your heart, a vulnerable moment, and they let it spill. That feeling can stay with you for a long time. It makes you wonder if you can ever truly open up again to anyone. For a very long time, people have understood how important this is. Ancient stories and old wisdom often talk about keeping promises, especially the hidden ones. Being a confidant, that's a person you can tell anything to, was always a big deal. It meant you were a safe place, a guardian of someone else's inner world. It's about honoring that respect for another person's deepest thoughts and feelings. Here's an idea. Imagine you write something very private in your diary. It's just for your eyes. You might even put a lock on it, right? Now, imagine someone you thought cared about you, not only read it, but then told everyone what was inside. It's not just embarrassing. It feels like they stole something deeply personal from you. like they took your thoughts and put them on a big billboard without your permission. And that's the thing. Secrets aren't just words. They are often parts of who we are, fragile and needing protection. When someone shows they can't protect those parts of you, it changes everything. It teaches us that trust, once broken, is incredibly hard to glue back together again. And sometimes, that glue just isn't strong enough for a truly lasting bond. It makes us think carefully about who we truly let into our inner world, and why that matters so much for our peace. You avoid arguments instead of solving them. Have you ever felt a knot in your stomach when a tough topic comes up? Like, you just want to change the subject, or pretend it never happened. That feeling, that urge to run from a disagreement, is something many of us know. It's when we choose quiet over conflict, even if it means problems just sit there, growing bigger in the shadows. We might think we're being nice, or keeping the peace. But here's the thing, avoiding arguments often means avoiding solutions. Think about ancient times, or even just our grandparents' generation. People often believed it was best to just let sleeping dogs lie or not rock the boat. This idea comes from a place of wanting harmony, but wise thinkers throughout history, like some Greek philosophers, understood that real understanding sometimes needs honest debate. They believed that by talking through differences, we actually get closer to truth, and to each other. Imagine your favorite sweater has a small loose thread. If you just ignore it, or tuck it away, what happens? Eventually, that thread can unravel more and more, right? Until your sweater is seriously damaged. A small argument in a relationship is like that thread. If you don't carefully snip it or mend it, the whole fabric of the connection can start to come apart. You don't have to shout or be mean. It just means talking about that loose thread, calmly, before it becomes a big hole. So, when we dodge those difficult talks, we're not actually protecting the relationship. We're often just delaying the pain and making it harder to fix later. True strength in connection isn't about never having problems. It's about being brave enough to face them together. It's about trusting that even when things are tough, talking them through builds something stronger, something real. Because a relationship that lasts isn't built on silence, but on understanding, even when it's hard one. They dismissed your feelings as silly. Have you ever felt a knot in your stomach, or maybe a quiet sadness, and then someone told you it was nothing, or that you were overreacting? This is what it feels like when your feelings are dismissed as silly. It's when you share something real and important to you, and the other person makes it seem small or unimportant. They might wave their hand, roll their eyes, or just flat out say, "Why are you so upset about that? It's just silly." Here's the thing, your feelings are like signals. They tell you something is happening, good or bad. For a long time, thinkers like the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle understood that our emotions are a core part of being human. They're not just random noise, they're information. To ignore them, or to have someone else tell you they're wrong, means ignoring a part of who you are. It's like a car's oil light coming on, and someone telling you, "Oh, just ignore that blinky light." It's being silly. You wouldn't do that, right? Because that light is telling you something important about the car's health. Imagine, you're really excited about trying out for the school play. You've practiced so much, and you're a bit nervous, but also hopeful. You tell a friend how you feel, and they just shrugged and say, "It's just a school play. Don't make such a big deal out of it." That warm, hopeful feeling might suddenly feel cold and small. It can make you feel stupid for even having those emotions, and that's not fair to you. When someone constantly brushes off your feelings, it slowly tells you that your inner world doesn't matter to them. It teaches you to maybe hide those feelings, or to question your own gut reactions. But every feeling, big or small, has a right to exist, to be seen, to be heard, and to be understood, especially by the people closest to us. Real connections are built on respecting all parts of each other, even the quiet, difficult, or silly feelings. Because they are never truly silly, they are simply yours. You feel like you're trapped. Have you ever felt stuck in a place you just don't want to be? Not a physical trap, like a room with no door, but an emotional one. This feeling, when it shows up in a relationship, can be one of the quiet, heavy signs that something isn't right. It's like wearing clothes that are too small, or living in a house where you can't open the windows. There's a constant pressure, a sense you can't quite breathe or move freely. For a long time, people have thought about what it means to be truly free. Not just free from rules, but free in your heart and mind. Ancient thinkers often talked about how important inner freedom is, the power to choose your own thoughts and feelings. When you feel trapped in a relationship, It's like that inner freedom gets squeezed. You might feel you can't be your true self or express what you really think because you worry about how the other person might react. Think of it like this. Imagine a bird. Birds are meant to fly, to soar through the air. Even if you put a bird in a golden cage with fancy food and a soft perch, it's still a cage. It might be safe, but it's not truly living its life. It can't feel the wind under its wings. In a human relationship, feeling trapped can be similar. You might not be in danger, and maybe the other person cares, but you still feel you can't spread your own wings. You can't fully grow, because the space around you feels too small, too restricted. Recognizing this feeling isn't about blaming anyone. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about listening to that quiet voice inside you that whispers, "I need more space." A truly healthy relationship should feel like an open field, where you can run and explore. Someone should be happily running alongside you, not holding you back. It should make you feel more like yourself, not less. It should feel like freedom, not a beautiful cage. They always have to be right. Think about this. Have you ever talked with someone, and no matter what, they just couldn't let you be right? It's like hitting a wall. You share an idea, a feeling, or a fact, and they somehow make it about them knowing better. It stops being about truth, doesn't it? It becomes about winning. Here's the thing about needing to be right all the time. It's often not about the topic. It's a deeper need, maybe a fear of being seen as not perfect, or a worry that if they're wrong, their world might shake. This constant need to prove a point, to stand firm even with new information, slowly closes off space in a relationship. It leaves no room for your perspective to truly matter, or for new ideas to bloom. Long ago, wise thinkers saw how pride builds invisible walls. They understood that real strength isn't about knowing everything, but about being open to learning, to listening. The idea that we all make mistakes, that we're on a journey of discovery, has been a quiet lesson passed down. When someone refuses to ever be wrong, they miss out on so much of that shared journey. Imagine you and a friend are building a fort. You suggest a better way to brace a wall, maybe a stronger knot, but your friend insists their way is the only way, even if the fort wobbles. They argue, not because their knot is better, but because accepting your idea would feel like admitting theirs wasn't perfect. It's not just about the fort, it's about their need to always be the expert. This makes you feel like your ideas don't count, that your effort isn't valued. When someone always needs to be right, it stops talks from becoming true connections. It turns a shared path into a one-person show. A healthy, lasting relationship needs gentle give and take. It needs humility. Both people need to feel safe enough to sometimes say, "Maybe you're right," or "I hadn't thought of it that way." It's in those moments of shared understanding, not in always winning, that love truly grows. You don't laugh together anymore. Do you ever notice how a quiet room can sometimes feel louder than a noisy one? It's true for feelings too. Think about it. When was the last time you truly laughed with that person? The kind of deep belly laugh that makes your shoulders shake and tears well up in your eyes. That genuine, shared burst of joy isn't just about a funny joke. It's a secret language, a special code that says, "I get you, we're connected, we're safe here." Laughter has always been a glue for human beings. For thousands of years, long before phones or social media, people gathered around fires, told stories, and shared smiles. Even ancient thinkers, like the Greek philosophers, understood that shared joy was a deep sign of true friendship and connection. They knew it wasn't just a sound, it was a reflection of how two people's spirits danced together. Here's the thing, when that easy laughter starts to fade, it's like a quiet signal. Imagine your relationship is a garden. Laughter is the sunshine and the gentle rain that helps everything grow bright and colorful. Without it, the colors start to dim, and the soil feels a little drier, a little harder. It doesn't mean there's anger, but it does mean a certain kind of warmth. A lightness is slowly slipping away. It's not just a missing sound, it's a missing feeling of comfort, ease, and shared delight, and that's why it matters. It's a gentle whisper from your heart, telling you that a vital piece of the connection might be fading into silence. They canceled plans last minute a lot. Have you ever made plans with someone, really looked forward to seeing them, and then, just before it's time, they text to say they can't make it? Not just once, but over and over. This isn't just about a change in schedule, it's about how it makes you feel. Deep down, when someone often cancels plans at the last minute, it can start to feel like your time isn't as important as theirs, or that you're not a high priority. From ancient times, Keeping a promise has been a cornerstone of trust. People relied on each other, and breaking a commitment, even a small one, slowly chipped away at the bonds between them. It was a silent message about how much you valued someone. Even today, though we live in a world of quick texts and instant messages, the feeling hasn't changed. When you promise to do something, you're giving a bit of yourself and your word. Think about a science experiment you're supposed to do with a partner. You've prepared, maybe even bought some supplies, and you're ready to make a cool discovery. But at the very last second, your partner bails. Not only does it mess up your project, but it also leaves you feeling let down. You put effort in, you mentally prepared, and then it all just vanished. This feeling, over time, can really hurt. It makes you wonder if you truly matter to them, or if you're just an option they pick when nothing better comes along. A relationship, whether it's a friendship or something more, needs a steady foundation. It needs to feel reliable. When someone constantly cancels, it feels like that foundation is shaking. It's a quiet whisper that says, "I'm not dependable." And that whisper, repeated often enough, can make you question everything, leaving you to wonder if their care is as strong as you once believed. You constantly apologize for things you didn't do. Have you ever found yourself saying, "I'm sorry," even when you know deep down you didn't do anything wrong? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? You might apologize because someone else is upset, or because there's tension in the air, and you just want it to go away. This isn't about taking responsibility for your actual mistakes, which is a good thing to do. Instead, it's about automatically taking on blame that isn't yours. It's like you're trying to fix every uncomfortable feeling around you, no matter the source. Here's the thing, constantly apologizing for things you didn't cause can quietly chip away at who you are. Think about it like this. Imagine a little plant trying to grow. If it's always bending and shrinking, trying to fit into a space that's too small, it won't ever truly reach for the sun. Your self-worth is like that plant. Every unnecessary apology is a tiny bend, making you smaller instead of letting you grow strong and tall. Throughout history, wise people have talked about knowing your own limits and standing in your truth. They believed that taking responsibility for your actions is powerful, but taking blame for others' actions is a burden that doesn't belong to you. It's like carrying someone else's heavy backpack when they should be carrying their own. This isn't about being mean or not caring. It's about understanding what is truly yours to own, and what isn't. Maybe you apologize because you fear upsetting the other person, or because you've learned that saying sorry makes things calmer, even if it's not fair to you. It's a way your mind tries to protect itself from conflict. But here's the problem. It teaches you that your peace depends on you taking the fall for everything. It teaches you that your feelings don't matter as much as someone else's anger or sadness. So if you often find yourself saying, "I'm sorry for things you didn't do," gently pause. Ask yourself if the apology is truly yours to give. It's a quiet sign, a whisper in your heart, telling you that perhaps you're carrying too much. True connection comes from both people standing tall, owning their own actions, and respecting each other's space. You deserve to feel safe and respected without constantly dimming your own light. They don't respect your personal space. Have you ever felt like someone was just to close, not physically, but maybe always asking too many questions, looking through your phone, or trying to know everything you're doing? That feeling when your own thoughts or things don't feel entirely yours anymore. That's personal space. It's like an invisible bubble around you, a boundary for your feelings, thoughts, and stuff. This bubble is where you get to be just you, without anyone else trying to take over. Think about it. For centuries, people understood we need our own room to breathe. Ancient thinkers talked about each person needing their own inner world, a place to think and feel freely. It's not about being secretive. It's about having a sense of self, a core that is purely yours. We all need that quiet corner for our minds, just like a small bird needs its own branch. Here's the thing. When someone doesn't respect that bubble, it can feel like a constant push. Imagine you have a favorite notebook for your ideas. If someone always read it without asking, wouldn't that feel uncomfortable? Like your private world was suddenly open for all. Or picture a tiny sprout needing space to grow. If other plants crowded it, taking its sunlight and water, it would struggle, right? Your personal space is like that sunlight and water for your spirit. When someone you care about ignores these boundaries, it can chip away at how safe and valued you feel. It suggests they might not see you as a whole person with your own separate life and feelings. Real connection doesn't mean merging. It means to whole people choosing to stand beside each other, each honoring the other's space. It's a quiet promise that says, I see you, and I respect the person you are. And that's a powerful kind of love. You feel responsible for their happiness. Have you ever felt like someone else's happiness was entirely your job? Like if they weren't smiling, it was because you didn't try hard enough. This feeling, this heavy weight, is a big sign that something might be off balance. It's when you start believing their good mood, their peace, their very joy, depends only on you. And that's a lot to carry. Here's the thing. Human happiness is a complex thing. Like a garden that needs its own sunlight and water. For centuries, people have thought about where happiness comes from. Ancient thinkers, even long ago, generally agreed that real, lasting happiness grows from inside a person. It's about how we see the world, how we choose to react, and what we do for ourselves. It's not something someone else can just hand to us, or that we can magically create for another. Imagine you have a friend who's always feeling sad. You try everything, telling jokes, sharing snacks, inviting them to fun things. But no matter what you do, they still seem down. If you then feel like a failure, or think you're not good enough because they aren't suddenly joyful, that's this feeling showing up. You're trying to be their sun, their water, and their soil all at once. But a person, just like a plant, needs to find their own ways to grow strong from within. It's natural to want the people we care about to be happy. We all do. But there's a quiet truth here. We can support, we can listen, we can offer comfort, but we cannot be another person's happiness. Each of us is responsible for our own emotional landscape. Believing you are the sole keeper of someone else's joy can slowly make you feel empty, and it stops them from learning to find their own light. It reminds us that healthy connections are about two people standing together, each holding their own ground, not one trying to hold up the other entirely. They make you feel bad for having fun without them. Have you ever made plans with friends, feeling excited, only to get a text or a call that slowly drains all the joy out of you? It's when your partner, or someone close, makes you feel guilty for doing something fun without them. They might not say it directly. Sometimes it's a sigh, a sad emoji, or a comment like, "Wish I was doing something fun too." This makes your own fun feel wrong, making your happiness depend on their presence. Think about old stories or wise sayings. Many talk about two people coming together, yet staying their own person. Think of two trees growing side. They share light, but each has its own roots, its own leaves reaching for the sky. True connection lets each person breathe freely. Imagine you're really into drawing, and you sign up for an art class after school. You're thrilled, but then your partner says, "Oh, so you'd rather spend time with strangers than with me?" Or maybe they make you feel bad about spending your allowance on art supplies. You start to feel like your passion is a problem, not a part of who you are. This can slowly shrink your world. Here's the thing. Everyone needs their own space to grow and discover new things. Your joy, your separate adventures, they shouldn't be a source of guilt. A healthy bond celebrates individual happiness, not trying to control it. Your own light doesn't dim someone else's. It brightens their world when you share your experiences. True connection values your whole self, including the parts that thrive alone. You have a gut feeling something's wrong. Do you ever just feel it? That quiet whisper inside, telling you something isn't quite right. It's like an inner alarm bell, not loud, but steady. Your mind might not have all the facts yet, but your heart and body already pick up on small clues. This can happen in friendships, with family, and especially in relationships. People have talked about this kind of knowing for thousands of years. Long ago, before science, people relied on these feelings to stay safe. They called it instinct or common sense, a deep, almost animal-like awareness that helps you figure things out, even when you can't explain exactly why. It's part of how we've survived and learned to trust our surroundings. Here's how it works. Imagine you're walking home, and a street that usually feels safe suddenly feels ... off. You can't point to anything specific. No one's there. No strange sounds, but you just know to walk a different way. That's your gut feeling at work. In a relationship, it's similar. Your brain, working quickly, notices little things: a look that lingers, a tone of voice, a sudden quietness, a promise that's forgotten again and again. It adds them up, not with words or a logical list, but with a feeling in your stomach or a heavy weight in your chest. It's not about being suspicious all the time. It's about listening to yourself. This can help you understand your own needs and feelings better. It's about respecting that quiet part of you that often sees the truth before your words catch up. Sometimes, the softest voice inside you is telling the most important story about what truly feels good or doesn't. This can help you trust yourself. They're quick to anger over small things. Have you ever noticed how sometimes a tiny problem can make someone really upset? Like if they drop a pencil or spill a little juice, and suddenly it's a huge deal. It's often not truly about that pencil or the spilled juice. Instead, something bigger hides beneath the surface, waiting for any reason to come out. Think of a soda can that's been shaken up, a tiny tap, and fizz explodes everywhere. That small action wasn't the real problem. It was all that built-up pressure inside. Here's the thing, when someone reacts with strong anger to little annoyances, it usually means they are carrying a lot of stress, worry, or hurt they haven't found a way to talk about. Maybe they feel overwhelmed at school, or things are tough at home. They don't know how to express those feelings. So, a minor frustration becomes the spark for a much larger explosion. Long ago, wise people like the ancient Greeks thought a lot about how we handle our feelings. They believed emotions out of control over small things signaled inner imbalance. They taught that true strength comes from guiding your feelings, not letting tiny events control you. Imagine a friend who gets really mad because you were a few minutes late. It's probably not just about those few minutes. Maybe they secretly feel unimportant, or they worry about being forgotten, or they just had an incredibly rough day. The lateness simply became the trigger for all those hidden feelings to burst forward. When this kind of anger happens often in a relationship, it creates a lot of fear. You might start walking on eggshells, worried any small mistake will cause a huge fight. This doesn't feel like a safe space. A good relationship should feel like a calm, steady harbor, not a storm always ready to break. It asks us to look deeper, to wonder what unseen burdens someone might be carrying, and to think about how we can build connections where feelings can be shared and understood, instead of exploding. You often wish you were single. Have you ever caught yourself dreaming of a life where you only had your own quiet moments, your own plans? It's a soft thought, maybe even a secret one, but it keeps popping up. A wish to be alone, not tied down. This isn't always about not liking the person you're with. It's more about a deep longing for your own space, your own time, your own freedom. It's a feeling that your current relationship might be asking too much, or not giving you enough room to simply be you, without pressure. Long ago, thinkers like the ancient Greeks talked about how important it was to really know yourself. They believed that truly understanding who you are, separate from others, was important for happiness. It's like saying, to truly connect with someone else in a healthy way, you first need to feel complete and comfortable just being yourself. If you're always wishing for that individual space, it could be your inner self trying to tell you what you need to grow. Think of it like a favorite song. You love listening to it with your friends, sharing the moment. But sometimes, you just want to put on your headphones and listen by yourself, letting the music fill only your world, your thoughts. That personal listening time helps you appreciate the song even more, in your own way. If you always feel like you need those headphones on, even when you're with others, it's a sign you're craving that personal connection to yourself. Like a plant, you need your own space to flourish. So, if you often wish you were single, understand that this feeling isn't a judgment. It's more like a quiet conversation your heart is having with you. It's asking you to pay attention to your own needs for freedom, for growth, for simply existing. It's a chance to calmly think about what makes you feel whole, by yourself and with another. And that's why it matters. Understanding these quiet wishes helps you build a life that truly feels right for you. They keep big secrets from you. Have you ever felt like there's a part of someone you know, a big part they keep hidden, like a closed door you're not allowed to open? When someone important to you keeps big secrets, it's not just about what they're hiding. It's about the space it creates between you. It's about a wall going up, brick by silent brick, from the earliest times. Humans have learned that being honest builds trust. Imagine a small village long ago. If someone in the village kept important things secret, like where the best food was or a nearby danger, it would make everyone feel unsafe. It would break the feeling of being a team. People needed to rely on each other, to know they were telling the truth, to survive and thrive together. In our own lives, that need for openness remains. We still need to feel safe and seen by the people we care about. Here's the thing. Trust is like a bridge. You need every part to be strong and visible to feel safe walking across. If there are missing planks, or if parts are hidden under a thick fog, you wouldn't feel secure. You'd hesitate, you'd worry. Eventually, you might stop trying to cross that bridge. Think about it like a puzzle, but a few key pieces are always missing. You can't see the full picture. That feeling of incompleteness can hurt. You might wonder what else isn't being shown. It's hard to build something real and lasting with someone when big parts of their story are kept in the dark. And so, when big secrets are kept, it slowly eats away at the chance for deep connection. It leaves a quiet emptiness where understanding should be. True closeness asks for us to be brave enough to share our whole selves, even the unsure parts. It reminds us that real love, real friendship, grows best in the light of honesty, not in the shadows of hidden truths. You feel confused about where you stand. Have you ever felt like you're trying to read a story, but half the pages are blank? That's kind of what it's like when you feel confused about where you stand with someone. It means you're not really sure what your relationship is. Are you just friends? Is it something more serious? One day, things might feel clear and warm, like sunshine, but the next day, it can feel like a thick fog, and you're left wondering, what are we? This not knowing can feel heavy in your chest. Humans have always searched for clarity, for a path that makes sense. Long ago, people looked at the stars to find their way home across vast oceans. They needed those bright points of light to guide them, to tell them where they were and where they were going. It's a bit like that with our feelings. We naturally want to know our direction. We want to understand the unspoken rules, or if there even are any. Imagine you're trying to build a really cool Lego model, but you only have half the instructions. You might put a few pieces together, and it looks promising, but then you get stuck. You don't know what comes next, or if you even have all the right bricks for the final picture. It feels frustrating, right? You keep guessing, trying different things, but the full picture never quite forms. That's how it feels when your relationship lacks a clear design, a shared understanding. That quiet ache of uncertainty, this confusion, tells us something important. It reminds us that we all deserve to feel secure in our connections. We deserve to know our value in someone else's life. It's about having a clear space to stand, not always shifting ground. And that's a very real and human thing to want. It's okay to need to know where you belong. They don't consider your opinion. Have you ever felt like your voice just floats away, like you're talking, but the words don't land? It's a heavy feeling when someone you care about doesn't really listen to what you think. They might hear the sounds, but the ideas, the feelings, the you behind the words, those don't seem to matter to them. This isn't just about winning an argument. It's about being seen as a whole person, with thoughts that count. Think back to old times, like ancient Greece. Wise people believed good ideas came from talking things through, from sharing different views. They knew if only one person's ideas mattered, everyone missed out. Humans are built to connect and share. We naturally want our ideas to be part of the bigger picture, to contribute. When our opinions are brushed aside, it's like a quiet message says, your thoughts aren't important here. Imagine you and a friend are planning to watch a movie. You suggest a comedy, but they instantly say, no, we're watching the action one I picked. No discussion, no asking why you like comedy. Just a firm decision ignoring your input. Or maybe you're picking a spot for lunch, and you offer a new place, but they just repeat their usual choice, as if you never spoke. It's not about the movie or lunch, is it? It's about feeling invisible in that moment, like your thoughts are less valid than theirs. This pattern, over time, can quietly chip away at how you feel about yourself and about them. A healthy connection is like a strong bridge built from two sides. Both people add their bricks and ideas. If only one side ever adds bricks, the bridge won't hold. So, if your ideas often fade into the background, it might be a sign something deeper is missing. A true partnership where both voices are respected and heard. It's about shared space, shared understanding, and that's key to any lasting connection. You're always stressed out about them. Do you ever feel a tight knot in your stomach when you think about someone you care about? Not just sometimes, but almost all the time. Here's the thing. If your relationship with someone, whether a friend or more, constantly makes you feel worried or anxious, that's a sign worth noticing. It's like carrying a heavy backpack everywhere you go. Even when you're trying to just sit and relax, you might find yourself always on edge, wondering what new problem will pop up, or what you might say or do wrong. This person, instead of being a comfort, becomes a source of steady worry. Think about the old Greek philosophers. They talked a lot about finding peace within yourself, a state of calm. They believed that a good life meant having a quiet mind, free from constant trouble. So, if a relationship always takes that calm away, making your mind busy with worry, It goes against this idea of inner peace. A strong connection should add to your peace, not take it away. Imagine you're trying to build a really cool Lego castle. You carefully put piece after piece together. But what if one vital piece is always wobbly, or just doesn't quite fit? You spend all your time pressing it down, adjusting it, worried the whole castle might collapse because of that one tricky part. That constant effort and fear. That's what it feels like when you're always stressed about someone. Instead of building something great, you're constantly fixing or fearing. And here's what I found. True connection should feel like a soft place to land. It should be a spot where you can breathe easily and be completely yourself without fear. If you're always bracing for impact, always feeling that buzz of worry, it's a quiet whisper from your own heart telling you something important. Maybe it's telling you that your peace is worth protecting, and that a true connection should feel more like sunshine than a constant storm cloud. They make you feel guilty for saying no. Have you ever felt a knot in your stomach when someone asks you for something and you really want to say no, but then you don't? Or you do say no, and the other person makes you feel bad for it. This is a quiet but heavy sign that something might not be right. When someone makes you feel guilty for setting a boundary, they are not respecting your inner voice. Your no is like a tiny, invisible shield around you. It protects your time, your energy, and your feelings. It's how you say, "This is where I stop, and I need to care for myself right now." Think about it like this. For a long time, people have understood the importance of being able to choose for themselves. It's a basic human right to decide what you will and won't do. When someone tries to take that right away by making you feel guilty, it's like they're trying to push past your personal fence. Here's an example. Imagine your friend wants you to go to a party, but you're really tired, or you just don't feel like it. You say, "Thanks, but I can't tonight." And they sigh, or they say, "Oh, but I really needed you there. I guess I'll just go alone." Suddenly, your simple no turns into a feeling of being a bad friend. This is how guilt works as a tool. It's used to make you change your mind, even when your gut tells you not to. Your feelings are your own. Your choices are your own. No one has the right to make you feel bad for protecting yourself. Your no is a powerful, peaceful word. It's a way of saying, "I value myself." And when you honor that word, you build a stronger, kinder relationship with yourself. That's a feeling worth holding on to. You feel drained after spending time together. Have you ever spent time with someone you care about, only to feel utterly exhausted afterward? Not just sleepy, but heavy, like all your inner light has dimmed. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? When you genuinely like someone, or even love them, you expect to feel uplifted, energized, or at least calm and happy. But here's the thing. Sometimes, even good intentions can lead to a connection that just saps your strength. Think about it like this. For a long time, people have understood that our connections can either build us up or wear us down. Ancient philosophers, even without knowing about brain science, talked about how friends could be like mirrors, reflecting our best selves, or like shadows that make everything feel darker. They understood that who we choose to spend our precious time, which truly matters for our spirit. It's a bit like charging your phone. When you plug it in, you expect the battery to fill up, right? But imagine plugging it into a charger that actually drains power instead, or one that barely trickles energy in, no matter how long it's connected. That's what it can feel like in a draining relationship. You keep putting in your energy, your emotions, your time, but instead of feeling recharged, you just get emptier. Maybe they talk at you instead of with you, always needing something, or they just make you feel bad about yourself without even trying. That constant effort without return leaves you feeling hollowed out. This feeling, this deep tiredness, is more than just needing a nap. It's a quiet whisper from your inner self, a signal. It's telling you that something important is out of balance. Our emotional energy is precious, like a limited supply of clean water. We need to protect it. When a connection consistently takes more than it gives, when it leaves you feeling weaker instead of stronger, it's a sign to pause and listen to that inner whisper. It's a gentle reminder that true connection should make you feel alive, not less. They don't share their feelings with you. What happens when someone you care about keeps all their thoughts and feelings locked away? It's a quiet sign, sometimes easy to miss, but it whispers a big truth about a relationship. Think of it like this. When two people truly connect, they usually start to open up to each other. They let you see the messy parts, the scary parts, the joyful parts, and even the simple, everyday feelings that bubble up inside their inner world. But here's the thing. If someone never shares their fears, their hopes, their worries, or even just what made them smile or frown today, a quiet wall starts to grow between you. It's like trying to know someone when they're always behind a frosted window. You can see a shape, but never the clear details of their true self. Humans have always needed to understand each other deeply to form lasting bonds. Even back in ancient times, wise thinkers talked about how real friendship and love was built on honesty and showing your true self. It's not just about what you do together, it's about what you feel and think, and being brave enough to share that. Imagine your feelings are like sunlight and water for a plant. If a plant doesn't get enough sunlight or water, it might still exist, but it won't truly grow strong and vibrant. Your relationship needs the light of shared feelings to really blossom and flourish, to reach its full potential. Without it, the roots can't go deep. So, if your friend or partner consistently holds everything inside, if you always feel like you're guessing what's truly going on with them, that's a significant problem. You might start to feel alone, even when they are right there. It's like reading a book with half the pages missing. You can't truly understand the story or the character if you don't have all the parts. This lack of sharing makes it hard to build real trust, because trust often grows in that space of vulnerability, and that's why it matters so much. A lasting bond isn't just about being in the same room. It's about mutual vulnerability, about showing up completely for each other. It's about feeling safe enough to show each other your full, true self, with all its light and shadow. When that safety isn't there, or when one person chooses not to step into it, the relationship can never truly sink its roots deep. It stays on the surface, perhaps beautiful in moments, but always fragile. It leaves you wondering what's really there. You feel like you're walking on thin ice. Have you ever felt like one wrong step could shatter everything? Like the ground isn't solid? This is what walking on thin ice means, not literally, but deep inside a relationship. It's a constant, uneasy feeling. It's that feeling where you hold your breath, careful with every word. You think twice before sharing how you truly feel. It's like there are secret rules you break, but no one tells you. You just know something bad will happen if you mess up. This isn't about good limits. It's constant fear of upsetting the other person. People have always known feeling safe is key to real connection. Being ourselves relies on trust. If you're always on guard, that connection isn't strong. It's like trying to build a sandcastle where waves crash. It won't last. Think about walking on a frozen pond. You're not enjoying the view. You're scanning for cracks, testing your weight, heart thumping. Every creak makes you jump. Imagine living like that daily. Can't relax, laugh freely, or just be yourself. You're always guessing what might go wrong. Here's the thing. A good relationship should feel like solid ground, a place where you can stumble and be caught. Always on thin ice wears you down. You lose parts of yourself protecting them. True connection helps you grow, not shrink in fear. Truly safe feelings are a crucial gift. They talk badly about your friends. Have you ever felt a knot in your stomach when someone you care about speaks ill of your closest friends? It's a strange feeling, isn't it? Like they're not just criticizing your friends, but a part of you. Here's the thing. Your friends are a big part of your world. They're the people who know your stories, who've seen you laugh, and maybe even cry. They are your chosen family. When someone in your relationship constantly puts them down, it's not just rude to your friends. It's a quiet attack on your whole support system, and on your sense of belonging. Think about it this way. For a long time, people have understood that who you spend your time with says a lot about you. The ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle, hundreds of years ago, talked about how true friends share similar values and help each other become better. He thought your friends were almost like another self, a reflection of your own spirit. So, when someone disrespects your friends, they're kind of disrespecting your judgment, and maybe even a piece of your personal history. Imagine you're building a tower with your best friends. Each block is a memory, an inside joke, a shared secret. You're all working together, making something strong. Now, imagine someone comes along and starts kicking at the bottom blocks, saying they're weak or ugly. It doesn't just damage the blocks, it makes the whole tower feel unstable, like it might crumble. It makes you wonder if they truly value what you're building, or even who you are, if they can't appreciate the foundations. This isn't about healthy disagreements. Friends sometimes mess up, and it's okay to gently talk about concerns if they're truly hurting you. But constant negativity, sharp words, or jokes that aren't funny, that's different. This kind of behavior can make you feel isolated and alone. It forces you to choose sides, or worse, to feel ashamed of the people you love and rely on. Over time, it chips away at your trust, making you question if this person truly respects your choices and the people who make you well. A real connection should expand your world, not try to shrink it by pushing away the people who matter most. It's a quiet signal that the ground beneath you might not be as steady or respectful as it needs to be. You hide parts of yourself from them. Do you ever feel like there's a secret part of you, a room you keep locked away? When a relationship feels right, we want to share all of ourselves. But sometimes, we find ourselves holding back. Maybe you don't talk about your biggest fears, or the dreams that feel silly, or even just how you truly feel about something. You might put on a face, a version of you that feels safer or easier for them to like. For centuries, thinkers have talked about the true self. Ancient thinkers, like the Greeks, believed in know thyself. That meant understanding who you really are. Deep down, for a strong connection, that real self needs to be seen. It's hard to truly love someone you don't fully know. Think of it like a plant. A plant needs sunlight and water to grow strong. If you keep it hidden, only bringing it out for show sometimes, it won't truly thrive. It might look okay for a bit, but inside, it's yearning for the light. Your relationship, like that plant, needs the full light of both your true selves to flourish. If you hide important parts of who you are, it's like keeping that plant in the dark. And here's the thing, when you hide, it's not just about them, it's about you, too. It can feel lonely to hold secrets in your heart. A real connection isn't about being perfect. It's about being seen, fully, with all your quirks and quiet corners. It means being brave enough to let someone into all those rooms, even the ones you wanted to keep locked. Only then can true understanding and lasting love really grow. They don't listen to your concerns. Have you ever felt like you were speaking, but your words just floated away, unheard? It's a strange, quiet loneliness when you share something important, and the person you're with doesn't truly take it in. They might be nodding, or even saying unhung, but their eyes tell you they're somewhere else. Your concerns, your worries, your quiet fears, they just don't seem to land. For centuries, people have understood how deeply we need to feel truly heard. It's not just about getting information, it's about feeling seen. Ancient thinkers sometimes spoke of listening as a way to understand another person's soul, not just their words. When someone really listens, they're not just hearing sounds, they're accepting a small, honest piece of you. They're making space for your feelings. Think about it like this. Imagine you're feeling sick, and you tell your friend, "My stomach hurts, and I feel really weak." But your friend just says, "Oh, that's too bad," and then immediately starts talking about their favorite video game. They heard the words, but they didn't hear the deeper feeling behind them. Your discomfort, your need for a bit of comfort. It's like sending a text message, but getting no reply, or a reply that totally misses what you meant. The message was sent, but it wasn't received in a way that mattered. When your concerns are consistently met with disinterest, or they're brushed aside, it can make you feel small. It can feel like your thoughts and feelings aren't important enough to be heard. And here's the thing, everyone deserves to feel like their heart's quiet whispers are important enough to be truly listened to be held with care. It's how we know we matter to someone. You feel like you're being controlled. What if your choices didn't really feel like your own anymore? It's a tough feeling, like a whisper telling you something isn't quite right. This happens when someone in a relationship starts to direct your actions, your time, or even your thoughts, instead of just sharing theirs. Maybe they question who you spend time with, or get upset if you have plans without them. Perhaps they pick out your clothes, or tell you what opinions you should have. It's not about caring, it's about wanting to hold the reins of your life. For a long time, thinkers have talked about how vital personal freedom is. Even ancient philosophers believed a good life comes from making your own decisions, guiding your own path. They knew feeling like your own person, not a shadow, is key to happiness. When someone tries to control you, it's like trying to keep a river from flowing its natural course. It pushes against that deep human need to be free, to choose your way. Think about a strong, small tree. It needs good soil, sunshine, and rain to grow tall and spread its branches wide. But imagine if someone kept pruning it unfairly, or tied its branches down so it couldn't reach for the sun, or even tried to bend its trunk into a shape it wasn't meant to be. That tree would struggle. It wouldn't grow into the magnificent thing it was meant to be. That's a bit like how it feels when someone tries to control you. Your own growth gets limited. When this happens, it's a quiet signal, a soft alarm. It tells you that true connection isn't about one person trying to shape the other. Instead, it's about two people standing strong, side by side, each with their own light, choosing to walk together. Real trust and real love mean giving each other space to be exactly who you are, without trying to change or manage every step. It's about letting each person bloom freely. They bring up past mistakes all the time. Have you ever said sorry for something, truly meant it, and then hoped it was over? But here's the thing, sometimes it's not. When someone you care about keeps bringing up things you did wrong last week, last month, or even last year, it feels like the mistake is never truly gone. It's like a permanent marker stain on a clean sheet of paper, always there, even after you've tried to erase it. This isn't just remembering, it's using those old hurts as a way to control or make you feel small, and that slowly chips away at trust. For a long time, thinkers have understood how heavy it is to hold on to past wrongs. Imagine people from hundreds of years ago living in small communities. If someone made a mistake, there was a real need for a way to move past it, for everyone's peace. They knew that constantly reminding someone of their failures keeps everyone stuck in the past. It's like trying to walk forward while always looking backward. You can't really see where you're going, and you might trip. Forgiveness, they realized, isn't just about letting the other person off the hook. It's about freeing yourself from carrying that heavy burden. Think about trying to build a huge, complex puzzle with a friend. Every time you find a new piece that fits perfectly, your friend stops and says, "Remember when you dropped all the corner pieces last time?" Or, "You always mess up the sky parts." How would that make you feel about working together on this new puzzle? You might start to feel like your effort doesn't matter, or that you're always being judged for something that already happened. It steals the joy from the present moment, and that's why it matters so much. A relationship where old wounds are constantly poked at makes it hard to grow. It tells you that you're defined by your worst moment, not by who you are trying to be right now. True connection asks us to believe in each other's ability to learn, change, and become better. It's about seeing the present moment for what it is, not just a reflection of yesterday's problems. So, if we want something real to last, we must find a way to let the past stay in the past, so the present can truly breathe and flourish. You're more focused on what's wrong than right. Have you ever looked at something mostly good, but found your eyes just drifting to the single flaw? Maybe a great picture, but you only see the one weird shadow. Or a really fun day, but all you remember is the one awkward moment. Here's the thing, our minds can get stuck searching for what's broken instead of what's working. In relationships, this can be a quiet, tricky problem. Our brains can act like a magnifying glass. We can choose to use it to zoom in on tiny cracks, small disagreements, or little things that annoy us. When we do that, those small things start to look huge. They can block out the good stuff, the kindness, the laughter and support that are still there. Wise thinkers, long ago, knew this. They said our attention is powerful. What we focus on becomes most real. Think about a perfect, shiny red apple. It smells sweet, feels smooth, but then you notice one tiny bruise. If you keep staring at that bruise, thinking about it, the rest of the apple, its color, scent, shape, it all starts to disappear. All you see is the bruise. That one small spot overshadows everything else good. When we focus too much on the bruises in a relationship, it can feel like the whole thing is going bad, even when most of it is still sweet and healthy. So, here's a thought. What if we gently shifted that focus? What if we tried to see the whole apple, bruise and all, but mostly for its sweetness and shine? It's not about ignoring problems, it's about remembering all the good that's still there, letting it balance out the hard parts. This simple shift can really change how we feel, and help keep connection alive. They make you doubt your own memory. Have you ever had a moment where you were absolutely sure about something, but then someone else made you question it? It's a strange, unsettling feeling, isn't it? This isn't just about forgetting where you left your keys. This is about deeper things, like what was said, or how an event really happened. When someone you care about starts to twist the past, it can feel like your own mind is playing tricks on you. Here's the thing. We all rely on our memories to understand the world. They're like our personal history book, but imagine if someone started ripping pages out of your book, or rewriting them. Slowly, you might start to wonder if your memories were ever right in the first place. This idea of questioning reality isn't new. People have debated what is truly real for thousands of years, wondering if our senses or our minds can be trusted. But usually, this is a fun, big thought. not something someone uses against you. Think about it like this. You saw a friend wearing a blue shirt yesterday. You remember it clearly, but today, they insist they wore a red one, and they say you're mistaken. They might even laugh at you for getting it wrong. If this happens over and over, not just with shirts, but with conversations, promises, or even how you felt, you start to doubt yourself. You might even apologize for things you know you didn't do. Your inner compass, the one that tells you what's true, begins to spin wildly. That's why it matters so much. When someone consistently makes you doubt your own memories, they're slowly chipping away at your sense of self, your trust in your own mind. It leaves you feeling lost, confused, and very alone. It reminds us how precious our own clear thoughts are, and how important it is to hold on to what we know in our hearts to be true. Our memories are part of who we are, and they deserve to be respected. You don't feel appreciated by them. Have you ever put your whole heart into something, maybe for a friend, and felt it went completely unnoticed? This feeling, like your efforts or just your presence isn't truly seen, that's what not appreciated means. It's not about needing big cheers. It's about simple, honest recognition. It's about feeling valued for who you are and the care you offer. This feeling isn't new. From early on, feeling valued has been a deep human need. Imagine a village long ago. If your efforts weren't seen, if you felt ignored, life would be lonely. Ancient thinkers knew we grow strongest when respected. It's a basic need, like needing food, to feel you matter to those you care about. Don't think about spending hours perfecting a drawing for a group project. You pour your creativity into it. You show it to your partner, full of quiet pride, but they just glance, say looks fine, then immediately talk about their part, not pausing for your work. It's not anger, it's more like a little hole opening up inside. A silent question: was my effort invisible? Did my unique way of seeing things just not matter? That quiet question can wear on you. It makes you wonder if your presence even matters. Here's the truth. Everyone deserves to feel truly seen for their true self, for all the kindness they offer. Relationships should make you feel solid and secure, not less. They should lift you up, not shrink you down. If your worth isn't reflected back, it's a whisper from your heart, telling you something important about that connection. They only reach out when they need something. Have you ever noticed a certain quiet, a person who usually isn't around, suddenly pops up, often with a question or a request? Here's the thing. This pattern can tell you a lot about a relationship. It's when someone only makes contact because they need something from you. Maybe it's help with homework, a ride somewhere, or even just advice they could get from anyone. They might not check in just to see how you are doing, or share something random that made them laugh. Their interest seems to switch on only when there's a problem they need you to solve, or a favor they hope you'll grant. You become less of a person they connect with, and more of a resource they can tap into. Even thinkers long ago, like the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle, talked about different kinds of friendships. He noticed that some people were friends of utility. This meant they were friends because each person benefited from the other, like a tool used for a specific job. But he also taught that the deepest, truest friendships were about valuing the other person simply for who they are, not just for what they can do for you. It's an old idea that real connections should be about more than just getting something. Think of it like a specific app on your phone. You open it when you need to order food or find directions, right? You don't just open it to stare at it all day, and once you're done, you close it until the next time you have a specific need. Sometimes, people treat relationships like that app. They only open you up when they have a need, and then close you until the next problem arises. This can leave you feeling a little empty, even if you're happy to help. It can make you wonder if you truly matter to them, or if you're just useful. Real connection, the kind that feels good and lasts, comes from being seen and appreciated for all of you, not just for what you can provide. Your worth isn't measured by how often you're needed, but by who you are. You feel like you're being judged. Have you ever felt like you're walking on eggshells around someone? It's that uneasy feeling, like every word you say or move you make is watched and picked apart, like you're always on stage, waiting to mess up. That heavy, sinking sensation, feeling constantly graded, is what we mean by being judged. Here's the thing. It means you can't just be your messy real self. You can't relax. Instead, you're always trying to impress, or just avoid disappointment. This constant effort drains your energy. It makes the space between you feel cold and tight, even when they're right there. Think about it. For thousands of years, humans needed to feel safe and accepted by their group. It's a very old part of our story. Ancient thinkers talked about knowing yourself and finding people who accept that true self. We all want a place where we don't have to wear a mask. We just want to be truly seen. Imagine drawing something you love, like a new comic character. You're lost in it, enjoying it, but then someone stands over your shoulder, pointing out every tiny mistake before you were even finished. How does that feel? You might quickly hide your drawing, or stop trying new things. That's a lot like feeling judged. Your honest thoughts and feelings become those drawings, kept hidden away. So, if you constantly feel like you're on trial, remember this: the best connections are built on a strong, warm feeling of safety. They are about letting each other grow, not shrink. A truly healthy relationship feels like a soft, safe space. It's where you can be exactly who you are, flaws and all, and still be loved. It's about finding freedom, not constantly feeling trapped. They never make an effort to see your family. Have you ever wondered why meeting someone's family feels like a big step? It's not just a casual visit, it's an invitation into a deeper part of their world. So, here's the thing: when the person you're with consistently avoids your family, it can feel like a quiet, chilly wind blowing through your heart. They might make excuses, or just not show up, even when you make it easy. And that's why it matters. Your family, whether perfect or messy, is a huge part of who you are. They shaped your laughter, your habits, your beliefs. Think about it like this: for thousands of years, across cultures, people understood that when two individuals came together, their families did too. It was about blending two stories, two histories, into one new path forward. It wasn't always simple, but the effort was seen as a sign of true commitment. Imagine you're building a strong, beautiful tree. You don't just water the leaves and branches, you also nourish the roots. Your family is like those roots. If someone you care about only wants to hang out with the visible parts of you, but never wants to understand or connect with your roots, how deep can that tree really grow? It's not just about being polite. It's about showing genuine interest in the soil that grew you. When someone truly cares about you, they want to understand your whole world. They want to see what makes you smile with your siblings, or what silly stories your grandma tells. They want to connect with the people who saw you grow up. It's a way of saying, I care about all of you, not just the parts that are easy. You deserve someone who sees your whole self, including the tapestry of people who helped make you who you are. It's a quiet truth, but a powerful one. The people who truly love you will want to love your world, too. You feel like you have to earn their love. Have you ever felt like you're always trying to prove yourself, even to someone you care about? It's a heavy feeling, isn't it? This is when love doesn't feel like a gift, but more like a job. You might feel like you have to be perfect, or always do something special, just to keep their attention or affection. It's like their love is a prize you're constantly chasing, and you're afraid if you stop running, you'll lose it. For a long time, thinkers have talked about different kinds of love. Some love is based on what someone does for you. It's like a trade. But there's another, deeper kind of love, where you're loved just for being you, not for your grades, or your looks, or how funny you are, but simply for the person you are inside. When you feel like you have to earn love, it means you're mostly experiencing that first kind, even if you wish it were the second. Think about a healthy plant. It grows because it gets sunlight and water, without having to do anything special. It just is. Imagine if that plant had to constantly put on a show, dance in the wind, or grow extra tall, just to get its basic needs met. That's how it feels when you have to earn love. It's exhausting. Love should be like the sun and water, helping you grow just by existing, not making you perform for your very right to thrive. When love makes you feel like you're always on a stage, it slowly wears you down. It takes away the joy of just being yourself. True, strong connections are built on acceptance, not on endless qualifications. It's a quiet truth that you deserve a love where you can simply be, knowing you are enough, exactly as you are. They always have an excuse for bad behavior. Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to have a reason for everything that goes wrong, especially when it's their fault? It's like they have a shield ready. When someone in a relationship constantly makes excuses for their actions, maybe they're late, or they forgot something important, or they said something unkind, it slowly hurts the trust you have. They might say, I was late because traffic was really bad, instead of I should have left earlier, or I only said that because you made me angry first. This isn't about small, honest mistakes. It's about a pattern of never taking responsibility, For thousands of years, people have thought about what makes a good person. Ancient thinkers, like the wise people in Greece, believed that truly knowing yourself and owning your choices was incredibly important. They taught that being honest about your mistakes shows real strength, not weakness. It's how we learn and grow. When you always push the blame onto someone or something else, you never really learn from what happened. It's like trying to fix a broken bike by blaming the road instead of looking at the chain. The problem will just keep showing up. Here's the thing. Everyone makes mistakes. That's just part of being human. But when you keep hearing, "It wasn't my fault," or "You made me do it," it builds a wall between people. Your brain might do this to protect itself from feeling bad, which is a common way we try to cope, but it really hurts the other person. Imagine your friend always blaming you for why they got a bad grade on a group project, even though you did your part. You would probably feel confused and unimportant. In a close relationship, this can make you feel like you're always careful with what you say, or like your feelings don't matter much. A real, deep connection needs both people to be brave enough to say, "I messed up, and I'm sorry." It takes courage to look at your own actions and truly say, "That was on me." When someone refuses to do that, it's hard to build a future together where both people feel safe and understood. It makes you wonder if they truly care enough to see things clearly and make things better. You feel like you're competing for their time. Have you ever felt like you're always trying to get someone's attention, like you're in a race, but you're the only one running? This feeling, that you're competing for the time of someone important to you, can sting. It's not just about them being busy. Everyone gets busy. It's when you consistently feel like you're an option, not a clear priority. Think about it this way. Since ancient times, people have longed to truly connect with others. Even folks just living their everyday lives, centuries ago, understood how important it is to feel seen and valued. When someone cares about you, their time and attention often show it. It's a simple, unspoken promise. But when that promise feels broken, or like you have to fight for it, a quiet sadness can settle in. Imagine you have a favorite board game. You love playing it, but your friend only wants to play when there's absolutely nothing else to do. Or maybe they're constantly checking their phone or thinking about other things, even when you're right there. It's not that they don't like the game, or you, it's that the game, or you, isn't their first choice. It feels like you're waiting in a long line, hoping they'll eventually get to you, if they have time left over. That feeling of being an afterthought can slowly chip away at your spirit. And here's the thing, you deserve more than just leftover time. You deserve to feel important enough that someone wants to share their time with you, freely and fully. It's not about needing every moment, but about feeling truly wanted in the moments you do share. Recognizing this isn't selfish. It's about honoring your own worth and understanding what a healthy connection feels like. It's a quiet strength, knowing you deserve a clear spot in someone's day, not just a maybe. They don't celebrate your wins. You know that feeling when something really good happens. Maybe you finally ace a big test or score the winning point. That burst of joy, that proud energy. What do you do next? Usually, you want to share that feeling. You want someone to see your effort, to cheer you on. Not celebrating your wins means the person closest to you doesn't seem to notice or care about your good news. Their face doesn't light up. There's no "that's amazing," or even a simple "good job." Think about people throughout history. We've always gathered in groups, in families. Sharing joy was key to connection. When someone did something great, the group often celebrated. It was a way to say, "We see your value, and we're happy for you." Without that, you feel lonely, even when someone is right there. Imagine practicing a tricky song on your guitar for weeks. You finally play it perfectly. You share it with someone you care about, hoping they'll hear your effort, but they just shrug, or look at their phone, or say, "That's nice," without truly looking. All that hard work feels like it vanished. It's like a scientist finding something amazing but having no one to share the excitement. The discovery is real, but the joy feels smaller, less bright, because it wasn't seen. When your wins aren't celebrated, it's more than missing a cheer. It's about feeling invisible. It slowly teaches you to dim your own light, to stop sharing your excitement. A good relationship should be where your brightest moments get even brighter, shared with someone who truly wishes you well. When that support is missing, the silence can feel heavier than any disappointment. It makes you wonder if you truly matter to them in the ways that count. You feel ignored when you're around them. Have you ever felt like you're talking, but your words just float away, unheard? Or maybe you're right there, next to someone, yet you feel completely invisible. This is what it means to feel ignored in a relationship. It's a quiet, cold ache when the person you care about seems to look right through you or past you. Your feelings, your thoughts, your very presence, they just don't seem to register. Here's the thing. Human beings are wired to connect. For thousands of years, wise people have talked about how important it is for us to be seen and known by others. Ancient Greek thinkers believed truly seeing someone else was key to real friendship. They knew if someone doesn't acknowledge you, it can make you feel less real, less important. It's like trying to send a text, but your phone has no signal. Your message is sent, but it never reaches anyone. The effort is there, but the connection isn't made. Imagine you're trying to share an exciting story, but the person you're telling it to is staring at their phone or watching TV. They might nod sometimes, maybe even say, "Hung," but their eyes don't meet yours. Their mind is clearly somewhere else. That feeling, that sting of not being truly listened to or engaged with, that's what we're talking about. It makes you pull back. It makes you wonder if what you have to say even matters. And that's why it matters. A relationship needs two people willing to share their presence and genuinely pay attention. When one person constantly feels ignored, it's like a plant trying to grow in the dark. It just can't thrive. So, if you feel this way, it's a quiet whisper from your heart, telling you something vital is missing. Being truly seen and heard is not just nice. It's a basic need for emotional growth and a real bond. They act differently around their friends. Have you ever felt like the person you care about suddenly changes when their friends show up? One minute, they're talking to you, calm and sweet. The next, when their friends walk in, their voice gets louder. Their jokes are different, and they might even tease you in ways they never would if it were just the two of you. This sudden shift can feel really confusing, almost like you're meeting someone new, or worse, like you're not important enough for them to be their true self around you. The idea of wearing different faces for different parts of our lives isn't new. For centuries, people have thought about how we act in public versus how we act in private. Sometimes, we put on a kind of mask, maybe to fit in, or to seem cooler, or to impress others. But a deep connection should be a place where those masks can come off, where you can both just be yourselves. When someone acts totally different around their friends, it can feel like they're choosing to keep a part of themselves hidden from you, or that the you they show their friends isn't the real you at all. Think about a chameleon changing its skin color. It does this to blend in, to feel safe in its environment. But in a relationship, you want someone who doesn't need to change their colors when the social scene shifts. You want to see their true self, their consistent self, in every light. If they're always changing their colors, you might start to wonder, which color is real? Which person are they, truly? It's a quiet ache, this wondering. What we truly long for in those we care about is to be seen, to be valued, and to feel secure in who they are with us. We want a connection where their personality with us is just as real and important as their personality with anyone else. That steadiness, that honest sameness, is where trust truly grows, making you feel safe enough to be your own true self too. You feel like you're constantly proving yourself. Have you ever felt like you're always on trial in your relationship? Like no matter what you do, it's not quite enough. This feeling of constantly proving yourself can be one of the heaviest weights you carry. It's like you're always trying to earn a passing grade, even though you've already aced the test. Every kind word you say, every good thing you do, feels like it needs to be more to be truly seen or appreciated. And the hard part is, you start to believe that maybe you aren't enough. Long ago, thinkers like the Stoics believed true happiness came from knowing your own worth, not from what others thought of you. They understood that constantly seeking approval from outside yourself is a never-ending journey. If someone truly cares for you, they see your worth. They don't ask you to constantly perform for it. It's not about being perfect, but about being accepted for who you are, without conditions. Imagine you're on a school team, and you score a goal or make a great play. Your coach and teammates should cheer, right? They should acknowledge your effort. But what if, after every good play, you still felt like you had to do something even better just to keep your spot? Or like your efforts were always being questioned? That's what it feels like when you're always proving yourself in a relationship. It's draining. It's like trying to keep a balloon floating in the air, but someone keeps pushing it down. Here's the thing. Real connection isn't about proving. It's about being. When you're with someone who truly cares, you shouldn't have to put on a show or constantly work to be loved. You should feel seen, understood, and loved just as you are, flaws and all. And that feeling of ease, of simply being yourself, is a powerful gift. It means your heart can finally rest, knowing it's safe and truly at home. They make you feel like your needs are too much. Have you ever felt like a quiet whisper when you really needed to shout, like your feelings, your thoughts, or even just needing a little comfort, was suddenly a big, heavy weight that others had to carry? Here's the thing. In some relationships, people can make you feel like just wanting something from them is a burden. They might make you think that asking for a listening ear, or some support, is too much trouble. It's like your desires are inconveniences, not valid parts of you. Long ago, thinkers like the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle talked about friendship. He believed that true friendship means both people care for each other's well-being. It wasn't about one person being too demanding, but about shared life. And that's why it matters today. Every human being has needs for understanding, for kindness, for feeling important. These aren't selfish things. They are just part of being alive and connecting with others. Imagine you're trying to share a small, cool rock you found. It's special to you, and you want to show it off. Maybe talk about how you found it. But when you offer it, the other person acts like you've handed them a boulder. They sigh, they roll their eyes, or they quickly push it back. They make you feel silly for thinking it was important, or for even wanting to share. That's how it feels when your emotional needs are dismissed. You just wanted to share a piece of your heart, but they made it feel like you were asking for something unreasonable or enormous. It's important to remember this. Your needs are not too much. They are simply yours. They belong to you. A true connection, a healthy relationship, sees your needs, big or small, as a natural part of who you are. It doesn't ask you to shrink your feelings or pretend you don't care about things that matter to you. Everyone deserves to feel seen and heard, not like a problem waiting to happen. This is about honoring your own heart and understanding what it truly needs. You often wonder if you're good enough. Have you ever felt that soft, unsettling question whispering in your mind? That quiet little voice asking, am I good enough? Am I worth their love? It's a heavy thought, isn't it? This isn't just a worry. It's a deep feeling that settles in when a relationship makes you constantly try to prove your value. You start to believe you need to change or do more to earn the love you crave. It feels like you're always performing, hoping not to be dismissed. This can make you doubt yourself. For a very long time, humans have searched for a feeling of belonging, for the quiet comfort of being truly accepted. Ancient thinkers, long before us, explored what it meant to live a good life, and feeling worthy was always a central piece. This need to be seen for your true self is not new. It's part of our story, connecting us to all humanity. When that acceptance feels conditional, that little voice of doubt can grow very loud indeed. Think about a small plant, a beautiful green sprout reaching for the sun. It has everything it needs to grow. But imagine if someone kept telling it, you need to be a different color, you need to grow faster, you're not quite right as you are. The plant would start to doubt its own nature, wouldn't it? It would struggle, trying to change itself into something it's not, just to be approved of. That's how it feels when a relationship constantly makes you question your worth. You start looking for flaws instead of celebrating your own unique light. But here's the thing, your worth isn't a reward you need to chase. It's not a grade you have to earn, or a prize that can be given or taken away. You are already enough, just as you are right now. A true, healthy connection should never make you feel like you're on trial. Instead, it should feel like a gentle mirror, reflecting your best self. It makes that quiet voice of doubt fade into a soft, steady hum of peace. It's knowing, deep down, that you are whole and deserving of love. They don't trust you, even for small things. Think about trust for a moment. What does it feel like when someone close doesn't believe you, even about small stuff? It's not about big secrets or huge betrayals. It's more about little, everyday moments. Like when you say you finished a chore, and they check on you, as if you might not have. Or when you mention you're going to be 5 minutes late, and they question your honesty. These small questions, these little doubts, chip away at something important between people. For a long time, people have talked about how important trust is. Ancient thinkers, like the Greek philosopher Aristotle, saw trust as a necessary part of any real friendship. He believed trust builds up, not just from big promises, but from many small, honest moments. Each time someone trusts your word, even for something tiny, it's like a small thread weaving into a strong rope. But each time they doubt you, it feels like one of those threads is snipped. Imagine building a tall tower with tiny blocks. You both carefully place each block, trusting the other. If your friend keeps pulling out blocks from the bottom, even just a few small ones, the whole tower starts to shake. It might not fall right away, but you know it's not strong. That's what it's like when someone doubts you in small ways. Each little doubt pulls a brick out of the friendship you build. This creates a quiet sadness. It's not always loud arguments. Instead, it's a constant, heavy feeling that you always need to prove yourself. You might feel like you're always on trial, even when you've done nothing wrong. This feeling makes a relationship feel wobbly and unsure. It makes you wonder if you can relax and just be yourself. Real connections need that strong, steady foundation with mutual belief. When that foundation is questioned, it shows the bond isn't as deep as you hoped. And that's a difficult truth to carry. You just know it's not right anymore. Have you ever felt a quiet whisper inside you, telling you something important? It's not a loud voice. It's more like a deep hum, a soft feeling in your stomach or chest. This feeling comes up when things change. You might notice it when a friendship doesn't feel as strong as it used to, or when your gut says a situation isn't good for you anymore. Even if you can't explain why, this isn't just a random thought. People have talked about this inner knowing for ages. Ancient thinkers, like the Greeks, believed in intuition. They saw it as a direct link to a deeper truth, a wisdom that didn't need proof. They thought this feeling came from deep inside us. It's a quiet alert, telling us when our path might lead somewhere we don't truly want to go, even if everything on the surface looks fine. Here's the thing, sometimes, in a relationship, this quiet hum gets louder. It's not usually about huge fights or obvious problems. It's more subtle. Imagine your favorite pair of sneakers. For a long time, they were perfect. But then, slowly, they start to pinch your toes. They don't feel as comfortable. They still look okay, but every step just feels a bit off. You can't point to a rip, but you just know they don't fit right anymore. That's a bit like this feeling in a relationship. It's a growing discomfort where comfort used to be. This inner knowing is a powerful, gentle guide. It's like your own personal compass. Listening to it isn't about giving up, it's about respecting that deep, honest part of yourself. The part that truly understands what you need to feel safe and happy. And sometimes, what you need is to change direction. It's okay to trust that soft feeling when it tells you something important about your heart and your future.